What is up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Welcome to another episode of the Black Line Brief. I'm your host, Matthew McKim, and we are going to have a good show today. As you guys get in and get settled, please do me a favor and just hit the like and the subscribe. It is how you can show your love and support for this community, this channel, and myself. And it's free. It's a free way to show your love and support. And it's always appreciated. Always. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, today I do have a really good show. Thank you guys for joining me early today. Tonight I'm going to a baseball game with my wife and children. It's never crossed my mind to call my daughters my babies. It's so weird when I hear Erika and all of those individuals just constantly refer to their children as their babies. Anyway, going to a baseball game tonight with the family and a group of friends, and so won't be able to do a later show, and so we're getting it out of the way right now. And like I said, it is actually going to be a really good show. Everything is set to go. Let's do it. So I'm going to start actually with a clip from a March-April timeframe of Erika Kirk, Pastor Greg Dunham, and Pastor James Kaddis. All right. More and more is coming out about James Kaddis. We have quite a few clips of him in different contexts today. Quite a few clips of Erika Kirk. We're going to watch her full video. I found the full video of the TPUSA Education Summit 2026 that just happened. All that's online right now is small, short clips. We got the whole thing. The whole thing's insane. The whole thing's crazy. And then we got some other stuff, Erika Kirk, and it's gonna blow your guys' mind. It blew mine. Okay. All right, let's start out here. Making sure my time is right. 27. Yeah, we could start right there.
65 program has changed how I view Christianity and can already feel it.
I was listening to it on 1.5 speed to get through it. Let me put it back to normal speed. All right.
Changing my life for the better. The biblical concept of marriage roles has really opened my eyes to a better way to think about how my wife and I complement each other instead of worrying about competing and fulfilling our own needs every day. My wife and I both grew up Catholic, got married in a Catholic church, but so far the spiritual awakening has been more one-sided over the past few months. I think that's meaning he feels it more than she does. How can I get her to adopt these marriage expectations that can be very different from societal norms and or how her parents were growing up? We have always had a bumpy marriage more than the norm, I believe, and I am convicted that embracing God's perfect vision would help us tremendously. I'm just not sure she is ready to buy in. What can I do to help her see how this mindset could help us lead a happier, healthier marriage, not just for us, but our kids? I have to tell you, like, all three of us know exactly what it's like to have the most beautiful Ephesians 5 marriage. That does not, forget about the denomination that you're a part of. Just being in God's word and understanding the beauty of having your husband lead your family and as a wife be the guardian of your home is so powerful. And knowing that as long as your husband, the head of the household, is so focused and serving the Lord, you, in fact, when you come under him of that head of it's beautiful, it's powerful, it's a beautiful way of how the marriage is supposed to be. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, so Erika, I'm sure you won't mind me taking this.
Oh, he's going to take some liberties, ladies and gentlemen. I had speculated, that James Kaddis, Pastor James Kaddis, did Charlie's and Erika's premarital counseling. I'm almost positive, based on the video yesterday that she said that church, the Calvary Chapel Signal Hills Church, is their home church. Obviously, they didn't attend in person. It's in California. They live in Arizona. They probably watched virtually. And then, when they could, they would attend in person. Also, we know that her relationship with James and Charlie goes back farther than like Rob McCoy, Frank Turk, Greg Laurie, and Jack Hibbs. Also, he's going to take the liberty right now and say some things that he knows more about their marriage than anyone else. All right. And this just leads me to believe, and the close connection with him and Erika and Proclaim Streetwear and Bible in 365. He's part of both companies. He's like the pastor on staff for the Bible in 365. It's a paid position. He makes money off of it. And same with Proclaim Streetwear. And this very deep connection, tie, relationship, business, personal, spiritual with Erika Kirk just further, in my opinion, confirms that he is the pastor that gave them premarital counseling. So listen up.
Liberty, because the reality of it is,
I love my husband so much. I mean, we had such a good marriage. I've been obsessed with my husband. He's everything to me. And our marriage was just perfect. It was perfect.
So she talks about him in the present tense, even though, and then the past tense. This is after. This is from March, April of 2026. So this is this year. And she talks about Charlie in the present and past tense at the same time. I thought that was interesting.
And, you know, we're not perfect beings, but our marriage in my eyes was perfect because we served the Lord and we had that fire at the altar that's never burned out. And he was such a good man of making sure that he always asked, how can I serve you? And I said, how can I serve you? And we were just always having that servant heart mentality of like, our marriage is so important because it's glorifying God and it's glorifying, you know, what he put us on earth to do and pour into our children. But yeah, go ahead, Pastor James.
That's beautiful.
I know it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I know you won't mind me taking the liberty, but the reality of it is there's probably nobody, maybe a few, I don't know, but there's nobody that I know of that is as privy to your marriage as me,
right?
Just because of the position that God has allowed me to be in with the two of you,
right.
And
position that God's allowed me to be in with the two of you. I'm pretty sure, okay, he was their premarital counselor and probably one of their main go-tos. And she speaks with him all the time because of the two companies that they are in partnership with one another in. And she does the Bible in 365 podcast with him once a month. And they go out there. She's spoken multiple times at his church to the young women or women group or, you know, conventions or retreats there. Yeah, pretty sure.
And your marriage was remarkable. Not remarkable in the fact that, like, you know, I think everybody thinks that when you say that you had the perfect marriage, that means that there was never a disagreement, there was never an issue. No, it was a beautiful marriage because God ordained it from the beginning. I had the opportunity to know you guys, to know where you were before you got married, and to see the times that led you into that marriage, and then to see what that marriage brought. And one of the things that I absolutely loved about Charlie was when I would sit with him and I would talk to him about these things, about anything, he was a sponge. Like literally, you could tell him something and he bought it hook, line, and sinker. And
you could tell him something and he bought it hook, line, and sinker. Okay. Do you know one of the main things that James Kaddis and, you know, Rob McCoy and Frank Turek and Jack Hibbs and Greg Laurie but mainly James Kaddis and probably Greg Dunham as well. He's there too. Remember last night, if you were here for yesterday's episode, when Erika was speaking at, you know, James's church, and she talks about Stephanie being like a second mother to her. That's Greg Dunham's wife. Stephanie is Greg Dunham's wife. That's the white dude sitting next to Erika. But one of the things that James continually said, and these other pastors did too, they told Charlie he had to marry Erika. It was God's will. It was ordained before time. He said it right there. It was preordained, God's will. It was God's will that Charlie marry Erika. And as a Christian, you'd never want to be, you never want to stand in the way of God's will. You never want to be outside of God's will. You want to be in sync with God's will. And these pastors all saying, this is God's will for you, for your future, for your family, for your ministry, for your organization. You have to marry her. Don't be an idiot. All right, let me hit this real quick. Thank you. Always be true. Erika, James, why you always lying? Why you always lying? Yeah. Yeah. It goes with the lion in the background.
I always used to tell him this. I would say, beware of who you are as a husband, because what you do can either ruin your wife or it can completely bless your wife. And he always knew that. Yeah. That's why he loved you so much. It's why he wrote you all of these little letters. And I know I'm taking the liberty. He made these funny little Post-it pads.
Erika doesn't care that you share personal things. Erika sends the personal letters to donors. She is sharing personal love letters that Charlie never intended for anyone else to see except for her and him. And she's including those in emails sent out to donors to get them to donate money to the organization. She does not care. She took a picture and a video of herself with an open casket kissing Charlie, kissing his dead hands. She does not care that you share personal information. Look that you didn't even have to ask her. You just did. Look. She's not bothered. She loves it. Please, people will love this. Share every part of my personal life. But then when people want actual information about, I don't know, facts around my husband's assassination, his death, was he cremated? Was he buried? Where was he buried? When was he buried? No, can't I have just one thing? Can't I have one thing? You never wanted one thing to yourself, Erika. You've put it all out there for everyone.
And all these things. I mean, he was just, it was some of the things that he said.
Why would James know about the personal letters? Why would James know the contents of those personal letters? That's freaking weird. If I wrote like personal letters to my wife, like love letters and like, I don't know, even just personal letters to my wife. Okay. And she shared them with another man, regardless if he was a pastor or not, like that would not be cool. That'd not be cool with me.
Like good on you, Charlie. And one of the things that I always used to tell him, and it was something he used to tell me, it's like, look, bro, we are the husbands in our relationship. Mm-hmm. The responsibility that we have as husbands is to love our wives like Christ loves the church.
Yeah, we know.
That means we don't place conditions on our actions. That means we have to learn how to love God more than we love our own wife. And what our wife becomes is what we actually created. And
now that Charlie's out of the picture, what kind of woman is Erika becoming? And I don't think that James ever needed to say these things to Charlie. You know, maybe Nicole, which is James's wife, or Stephanie, Greg's wife, should have been saying these things to Erika.
I think that that's such an important picture. And by the way, I think that anybody that's willing to be honest about looking at a marriage situation, a marital situation when it's ideal, the ideal that happens that's defined by God is in the modeling that's created by the husband. The husband is given this opportunity to do so. So the idea here where William, you talk about the fact that you're ahead in the sense that your wife hasn't bought in on it yet, just show her your transformation. That's the only thing you need to be worried about. You need to show her your transformation. And as you begin to show her your transformation, you will bring her in to not only...
Oh, no, they jump off of Charlie and Erika. All right, let's go to the next clip. It's at 152. It's really far down. There was nothing really good in between, okay? And I sat through the whole thing. I've watched 4 or 5 different videos today, you guys, so you guys don't have to. So I can bring the good stuff directly to you, and we can watch it and talk about it.
Not a sentiment, so it's not a feeling, it's an action. And I'm just thinking of the Lord, you know, I mean, at the cross, despising the shame of the cross, right?
100%.
But he obeyed and he trusted the Heavenly Father, and look what was the result. It was the healing and redemption of the world. So some perspectives.
Just pray for thy will to be done.
That's right.
Yep.
especially as you see all the crazy things
That's
that
right.
are out there.
That's right.
Mm.
And
Pastor
vengeance
James,
is mine, saith the Lord.
Yeah.
Evil does not win.
Mm.
And I just think when the Lord just says, look, we need to be praying for those who persecute us and use us stuff, he does not want us overcome by evil itself. And we overcome evil by doing what is good.
Right.
So we need to bring them before the Lord and do that which is contrary to our nature, as James was mentioning earlier. And
but it's freeing.
Like,
it is freeing.
It is freeing when
It is freeing. Let me get to the super chat before I pass it up. Always be true. Thank you for the donation and the support. I think that at least God eventually used their marriage and Charlie Kirk's demise to lead us where we are today. The revival is on March. Yes, not the one they wanted, though. Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. 100%. Very insightful. Yes.
And you can say, I pray for them, even though they hate me. I pray for them.
Okay, that she's talking about Candace. She's talking about all of us, you guys. It's nuts. Zebra Z. Erika will not respond to accusations of child Fort Huachuca, but she responds to claims she is dating COS. I don't know what that is. She must protect the grieving widow persona at all costs. No one buys it. Miss Francevey. I agree. I don't know what COS stands for. Someone help me with that. Let's continue.
Because it frees you
Oh,
from, like you said, Pastor James, that poison.
That's right.
Poison.
And it frees you
Yeah.
from that hold that they could have on your heart because you won't let them break you.
And she's also talking about Tyler Robinson, okay? Forgiving Tyler Robinson.
That's
You
right.
won't let the world break
That's
you.
right. That's right.
And it's even personal for me. I
That's
have
right. No, that's
two
right.
children to raise. I have an organization to run. I have students counting on me to show up.
That's right.
And that is where my energy goes.
Really?
Every single day, that's where my energy goes.
Really?
And you know, and Pastor James, you know this too, at a micro level, you know, we see it. We live in an attention economy where it's designed to keep people angry and it's designed to keep people divided and continuing to scroll.
You're not helping with that division at all? You're not contributing to that anger at all? Frustration? Resentment? Bitterness? I think you are. I think you're one of the driving factors in it right now because of how much Charlie meant to us and how little you're doing to try to help us find who killed him, you know? And I do not think you are running the organization and raising your children at the same time. I refuse to believe that because even in your own words, like in this other video we'll watch, you were with Charlie on the road 350 days a year. Okay. That's what you'd be doing now. I mean, maybe not as much now because the reason why Charlie was also on the road that much, he was doing the campus events that proved me wrongs. And you're not doing any of those, obviously, but you are still working and running a massive now organization that was larger than it was when Charlie was alive. $500 million brought in since his assassination. And you've even said yourself, balance is a myth. It's an illusion. You can't do it and raise kids at the same time. The type of CEO, right? Position, career, you know.
And to get their clicks. And a solved problem on the internet or wherever does not drive engagement.
Oh, okay.
And a resolved grievance does not generate clicks. So some people, you know, have made a very deliberate choice to live their life that way. And you, Pastor James, and all the other people that are inside of Bible in 365, that is their business. That's not ours. Our business is of the Lord. And every single day, no matter how much you talk about us, that's your business. Our business is the Lord's, and we will just pray for them and keep moving and keep building. That is our business.
That's right.
Our business is kingdom business. Everything else is
noise
of the world.
It's about our Father's business.
Amen.
It's about our Father's business. Absolutely beautiful, Erika.
Look at what happened to Charlie the last few years he was alive on this earth. the effectiveness that that man had was directly correlated to the decision that he made to ignore the noise. He gave up a whole day to the Lord. He took the phone, he put it away. He said, I'm going to listen to the voice of God. And by the way,
so earlier, remember, he said that he saw the change in Charlie when he decided to, I think it was in this one, right? It might have been in a different one or from last night, but that James said that Charlie made the decision to do the Sabbath to be a better husband, right? That who we are as husbands is a direct reflection of how our wives turn out and who they become. And that he saw that Charlie was so intentful about this that he did the whole honoring the Sabbath, religiously each week. And that had more to do with him honoring Erika and his children than it did honoring God, at least James's take on it. I actually think that, a lot, and you might disagree with me on this, that yes, I think Erika was happy when Charlie was gone and she was living her best life with all the money and none of the Charlie, spending it and doing whatever she wanted. I also do think she nagged him. I also do think she wanted help with the children. I also think she outsourced it. Okay. But at some point too, depending on where you are, she is still human, right? And would have human wants and needs and desires. And I do think she was probably hounding him, and that led to him making that decision to throw the phone in the drawer, and be completely unplugged for one day with his family, because he's on the road 325 to 350 days a year. So that one day a week that he's home, he would really need to be present. And I think that part of it was due to the nagging of Erika. That's just my opinion.
Hey, in the last couple of years, there were a bunch of people that hated him more. The
Jews, the donors, Philly, BB, all of the Zionists. Is that what you're talking about? Oh no, you're not talking about that.
Dear president would not be the president of
you're talking about the crazy leftists. Okay.
United States today if it wasn't for the work that Charlie Kirk put in to make that happen. You think there are people that didn't hate him for that? Yeah. They hated him. The hate grew, the opposition grew. I know, because he talked to me about it on a regular basis.
Oh, wow.
But yet something happened. Something clicked. And what happened was he took a day, every day of the week.
There it is.
To go every day, one day a week, to go back to reflect upon his relationship with his creator. And he realized something really, really important.
Yeah.
Politics were a functional emanation that came from the spiritual. And that's why he became so good at it. That's why he was so effective on campus. Anybody who has any observational capacity with respect to Charlie is able to tell that man over the last couple of years spent more time talking about the gospel than he did anything else.
He lived for an audience of one.
Amen.
Brother, it was beginning to be the single greatest reason why lives of young men were changing.
Right.
He was going to young men and he was saying, hey, listen, if you say that there's no good women left out there, it's because you're not attracting them. Amen. You haven't made yourself anybody to be able to attract them. Huh. If you're running around saying, I can't buy a home, I can't do this, I can't do that, it's Israel's fault, or it's the economy's fault, or it's this fault or that fault. You can blame anything you want. Well, the reality.
How ironic, because Charlie actually did feel that these social, wealthy Jewish, businessmen donating, to AIPAC and to the left, and the investments that they made and how it ruined our economy, and the choices made by businessmen, mainly, ones from Philly, and how it affected our value of our money, our economy, the housing market, and that it wasn't this generation's fault that we couldn't and haven't been able to afford homes like every previous generation before us. And now here is, James is defending Philly and scolding young men that can't afford homes. Okay. Couldn't be farther from what Charlie felt.
The reality of it is, in the world that we live in today, it's nobody's fault except your own.
That's not true.
And what
Not
Charlie
true.
was saying is, if you spend more time making yourself to be what God wants you to be, to become honorable, to become admirable, to seek out the family, which creates your motivation to do what you want to do, to become that person who no longer lives for the video game in the basement and actually chooses to live for another human being and make other human beings and live an admirable life to experience something great. That's where abundance begins to come in. That's where generational wealth comes into play. And those aren't bad words. And that's where God's true riches come into hand. And that's what Charlie was doing. Charlie was teaching kids that what you can do is you can break all that. And by the way, it's so interesting. An overwhelming majority of those that are college age actually believed every word of what Charlie was saying. It was the ones that were in college that had to be taught that by Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is that the devil hated it. The devil hated it. And that's why his agents right now online are more focused on destroying the message.
Okay, so now that's another reference to all of us and Candace and Barron and all of us. And he's saying his agents, that's Satan's agents, demons, all of us are supposedly seeking to destroy Charlie's hard work, legacy, and success. And no. Andrew and Blake and Erika are doing that all on their own. You're actually helping. And so did Victor Marx. So did Rob McCoy and Frank Turek and Jack Hibbs. All of you guys, and Greg Laurie, all of you guys getting up there on your pulpits and speaking and being pro-Philly, and pro-Iran war and changing Charlie's message at the end of his life. You're the ones destroying it. We're not the demons. We're not the little henchmen of the evil one. Okay. The ones that masquerade as shepherds that are inside like a den of vipers. That's you.
And I think that this is something very important to understand. The memorial service happens after Charlie goes to be with the Lord. You have all these amazing things that begin to take place. And what does the enemy do? The enemy immediately starts getting everybody to focus on what we no longer have.
Meaning Charlie Kirk, and the assassination and who did it and how and why. Oh, you stupid people. Why are you focused on the thing you cannot have? You no longer have. Focus on the winning, the Dow, the NASDAQ. I mean, come on, the merch sales. Did you see how many people were in attendance at the memorial? But we sold so much merch. Come on, focus on the wins, not the losses, guys.
It started with a few people talking about, let's investigate what happened with this and let's investigate what happened with that. And let's look.
This, he can't even say it. Say it, bro. You don't even probably know, or you do and you're just evil either way, or ignorant and evil. I don't know. Yes, investigate the assassination. You claim to be his friend. You claim to be someone that seeks truth in all that you do. You don't have any issues with the official freaking narrative? Are you kidding me? A 30-06 disappeared in Charlie's neck? Give me a break. Yes, we want answers and we want to investigate this and we want to investigate that because no one else is.
Look into this and let's look into that.
Yeah.
And the one thing that they did is exactly what the enemy caused Adam and Eve to do in the garden.
What?
Of everything in every tree of the garden, you may freely eat.
Oh, just focus on everything else.
So instead of focusing on every tree of the garden and having the ability to freely eat it, what did you focus on? The one thing that you don't have access to.
The truth. The truth. The truth about Charlie's assassination. The evidence about September 10th, the real truth and facts and evidence regarding who actually assassinated Charlie Kirk. Yeah, we don't have that. Yep.
And that's what the enemy did here.
Yep.
Hundreds and millions of people heard the gospel at that memorial service. There was a real, true, and steady revival that was taking place. And yet the destroyers who felt compelled by the inspiration
All of us.
of the God of this world chose to teach everybody to focus on what we no longer had. And the very moment you focus on what you no longer had, you begin to get into all the other crazy minutia that created the condition that we're facing right now.
Nuts.
And what Erika is doing, and forgive me for getting on a soapbox, I think I should point this out because I'm very proud of Erika,
Oh, I bet.
is she's focused on everything that God gave her and her husband. And I think that was the message that Charlie was giving. Charlie was like, look, stop focusing on this tax policy, that tax policy, what you don't have here. Stop focusing on all that. Get out of your basement and go do something special. Get out there and change the world.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment you start changing the world, the mind rot that is right now with this culture.
Okay, mind rot, what he's talking about, right, is anti-Semitism. He doesn't say that, but that's the word that they use when they describe anti-Semitism, the mind rot. Okay, he is a Zionist through and through. He wants us to focus on the winning of the administration or, what happened in the wake of Charlie's assassination and just forget about the assassination itself.
Will go away. You'll stop blaming everybody. You'll start actually saying it was me. It was the destroyer. It was the enemy that spoke to my heart, and I listened to him.
No.
I listened to the lie.
No.
And I ended up doing the wrong thing, and I almost lost everything. I lost a future family. I lost my children. And think about it. The enemy hates it. There are still people today looking at what Erika has, not what she had, what she has, and they hate it. They're jealous.
We're jealous. Oh, how did he become so smart? How did he become so insightful? Sorry, I was making sure I'm caught up on all the super chats. We're jealous. Oh, thanks, James. We were trying to figure it out. We were just like, why are we so mad at this woman? Like, I just see her and it's like, oh, we can't figure. Do you know why we're mad? Do you know why we're mad? Well, I thought we were mad because she's lying about the assassination and she's lying about Charlie and she's lying about herself and that Charlie supposedly said that she was going to be CEO and would do a great job. They did make a fake AI clip, right? That did happen. Oh, she forgave Tyler Robinson when there was no evidence to point to Tyler Robinson like 8 days after the assassination. That's not why we're mad, though, right? We're not mad about that. We're not mad that she's lied about Charlie's changing views at the end of his life about supporting Philly and opposing regime change wars in foreign countries where American men and women, servicemen and women would die for another country. That we're not mad about that. Wait, we're not mad about the fact that he was a total supporter of Massey and now they don't want to support Massey anymore. No, that's not it. Oh, we're just jealous. Thanks. We're jealous. Got it. Okay, thanks. Thanks for pointing it out.
They're jealous. They hate it. Why? Because it's a genuine and sincere work of the Spirit of God, and people hate it who are inspired by the father of lies.
No.
And I think that's a really important thing to bring out here.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I got on a
Super
soapbox,
proud of
but I
you.
just felt the need to bring it up.
What do you
Well,
gotta say?
she's a daughter of the king. That's who she is.
Which king?
She's a daughter of the king.
The king of this world, of this earthly world. Look at her face. She's so proud of herself. I am a princess. I am a princess. I'm the daughter of the king.
I love you guys.
Love you.
We're going to do one quick.
All right. Is this 203? Let me go to 203:53. 203. We'll go here.
Guy and the babies. I mean, so it's pretty repetitive, right? I'm bringing loved ones before the Lord. I think of our church. I think of other things. But I would just say, too, look, the Father wants us to bring our pain to him. Because I think of the Lord in the Garden of Gethsemane. And I mean, you're talking transparent, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jesus, may sound a little weird to say this, but Jesus was definitely in touch with his feelings, both publicly, just thinking of coming into Jerusalem. He's not only this little misty-eyed here, he is convulsing in prayer, concerned about the trajectory of Israel, their future. And he guaranteed his future, their future, by the way, on the cross.
Okay.
That's part of the new covenant. But my point is this,
Philly,
is that, look, there are some things that we carry, and they're
guaranteed Philly's destination. Okay. All right. It's all, yeah, got it. Check. You got that off the list. Okay. All right. Now we're going to listen to James Kaddis tell us one of the main problems with the Calvary Chapel denomination and the pastors and the people in it. It's nuts. Wait till you hear what he says.
Jeff Johnson at Calvary Chapel Downey. This Sunday will be our 20-year anniversary from the day that I started Calvary Chapel Signal Hill. Yeah. Actually, December the 18th, 2005 is when I started Calvary Chapel Signal Hill. So I'm a Calvary Chapel guy through and through.
Yeah.
But you know one of the problems that we have in Calvary Chapel culture?
What?
Is we tend, and this is like a scary thing to say.
Yeah.
We tend to not hold people accountable when sinful things happen.
Huh. We tend to not hold people accountable when sinful things happen. I wonder what he's referencing here. You think he's referencing the actual situation with Greg Laurie and that orphanage in Romania, and the main pastor runner of the one in Romania was hurting, like abusing children for like 14 years. And Greg Laurie knew about it because these other pastors found out about it when they would go and do things there. And they had to send over an independent investigative team to determine what was true and what was not. And they found out this dude was doing it. And Greg Laurie left him in place because of how lucrative it was. And he was still sending that head dude over there like $17,000 a month. Money to his personal bank account, money that guy used to, bribe, buy, groom the children and other people around to get away with it. Or it could have been in reference to Erika Kirk. I mean, obviously, I know he's not referencing any of them because he wouldn't even dare think that any of them would do these things. But we know that, and Rob McCoy put a guy on staff and did this podcast with this dude that was convicted of multiple times of luring young girls and then doing things to them. He was convicted of that. He went to prison. And then Rob McCoy gave this dude a job in the ministry, in the church, where he had proximity and closeness to other children. These guys, dude, it's insane. Let's hear what he has to say. Yeah.
It's a weakness.
Yeah.
That's what comes with the Moses model sometimes, right? The Moses model of leadership.
All right. Well, that's all I want to hear of that. Just that he said that was enough for me. All right, let's jump over here. This is going to be insane. All right. We're going to hear things from Erika Kirk. This is the full video. The whole thing is nuts. We're going to listen to it, and it's going to blow your mind.
What a great turnout. I'm so proud of you. This is awesome.
Well, I like to take credit.
Talking to him like he's a child. He's a grown man.
But I can't. No, this is the total team effort. And really, the heroes are these people out here who have worked so hard, even just to get here, but are laboring so faithfully, Erika. But we want to welcome, we want to welcome you to our 5th annual Educators Summit, which is amazing because we're only 4 years old.
So that guy wearing a toupee, is that a toupee? It looks like a toupee. It doesn't look real. It doesn't match the sides.
How do we do that? But first year we had 2. So we're just so thrilled that you're here. Thank you for making the great effort to come all the way from Phoenix to be with us. We've been so looking forward to this.
Thank you. And thank you guys for all coming.
So this is her returning to Chicago, Illinois, And she referenced it in the podcast the other day, last week, with James Kaddis, that she was going back to Chicago and that she was bringing the kids with her and was going to see Charlie's parents. That was in response, I think, to all the backlash that she's been receiving about the kids and about Charlie's parents since the assassination. And Candace brought it up last week in her show as well. And of course, then we know, because Blake Neff is tasked with watching Candace Owens and then, relaying it back to Erika so that they can then respond and create lies and narratives to counter, the facts that Candace is dropping each week. And then so on that podcast, and now today, you're going to hear her say that something we've never heard her say at all, that she's in communication with. She talks to Charlie's parents and sister all the time. They're in good standing with one another. The grandkids visit them. Yeah, wait till you hear the BS.
Because you guys have so many different conferences you can go to during the summer, and your summer window is so small. So I'm just grateful that you've taken some time to be with us. But Chicago will always have a special place in my heart, and you know that. And so I was able to bring the babies with me this trip to see Charlie's parents and his sister and have them play in the front yard. They were actually playing baseball last night in the front.
Okay. So my wife said that this was probably a minor, that she probably didn't actually mean baseball, but Gigi's 4. Mac is 1.5, 2. Maybe Gigi could swing a bat or hit a, I don't know. They're not playing baseball though. The kids aren't playing baseball. They're not.
Yeah, it was really sweet. It was really, really sweet. So,
okay.
Well, I know this area, of course, is so significant for you, for Charlie, growing up in this area.
Mm-hmm.
But I know you know this, but everyone else may not know this, is that Lincolnshire, which is where we are, was actually the second headquarters of Turning Point.
Mm-hmm.
So Charlie, many of you have seen the pictures of Charlie with the garage down in Lamont, which has been preserved, by the way, and so you can still go see the garage. I was talking to the man that owns that, and he said that the photocopier is still in there that Charlie used in the phone. And
all good startups come from a garage.
That's right. But Lincolnshire was the second headquarters.
Or government funded companies, for DARPA, it'd be Amazon and Apple and, these guys just, I don't know, came out of nowhere with all this technology and these great ideas. And then you find out about who their parents are and their family is. And you're like, oh, okay, no, they didn't do that on their own. I believe Charlie was similar, that he had the potential and he was already going in that direction. He had the SOS website and organization started, and then other men saw what a talent and opportunity Charlie was for them to achieve things they wanted. I
think not very long. And then I don't know what possessed Charlie to move down to Arizona.
Oh, we do. Erika won't tell you, but I'll tell you. Okay. So Tyler freaking Boyer, who is 7th generation Arizonian LDS royalty, and Terrell Farnsworth. And I say that because him and Terrell's family go way back. Tyler and Terrell's family go way back, and he's also LDS royalty. And then we have Erika Kirk and Tyler have been, they've said it of one another that they are family friends, and we know they've known each other for a long, long time. Tyler's known Erika long before he knew Charlie. Okay. Tyler invited Erika to the 2015 rally in Arizona, and they spoke on the phone, which means they had each other's number, which means they knew each other before that. And they've both lied. Erika and Tyler have lied about how long they've known each other, how they met each other, how deep their relationship goes. But we also know Tyler is the one that tried to set up Charlie and Erika 4 or 5 different times. Okay. One of the times was Lori and Erika going to Jerusalem, but all the rest were Tyler. And Tyler's the one that eventually got them to meet at the Bob's or Bill's Burgers. Okay. Tyler is the one that said, I saw Charlie and I knew I could hitch my wagon to him. And then he is the one, if you've seen my Matthew Cicerone interviews, the former Turning Point Action insider that's come out and blown the whistle on Tyler Boyer, that the reason why Tyler invited him out there is one, two, Erika lived out there at that time. Fort Huachuca's out there. Some of the other guys' names like Brad Parscale, not Seth Dillon, or maybe it's Seth Dillon. Anyways, their families are deeply connected to the political structure in Arizona, and their ability to skate laws and sidestep laws and get away with crimes like Tyler has done multiple times, taking money when he leaves and using it for something else, like $50,000, Matthew Tuzzaroni said. Tyler had to be pardoned. It was Tyler Boyer's constant nagging of Charlie to move the headquarters from Illinois to Arizona, because Tyler knew he would be able to control and manipulate and do corrupt things in Arizona that he could never do in Illinois. Okay, that's my opinion. So that's why they moved to Arizona.
From Illinois. I just have no idea. But one of the things, he got to meet you. So that was well worth it. Well worth it.
So that's weird. No, that's not how they met. They didn't meet in Arizona, bro. Do you not know?
Well, Erika, we're just so grateful for you. And only God knows all that you have been through. I mean, many of us pray for you every day. We just so are appreciative of the way that you have persevered under amazing adversity and slander and ridicule and criticism. It's unbelievable. I don't know how you could do that.
Only God.
Apart from a relationship with the Lord.
Oh God.
It's all, my only strength comes from God. That's it.
Liar.
You look at things a lot differently and through a completely different lens when something like this happens
to you.
It's the only way you can. This is obviously spiritual warfare on a completely different level that I could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
But at the same time, and like I've said before, I have seen the worst of humanity, but I've also seen the best of it. And in this moment, I really feel that the Lord has really put a hedge of protection around my children, myself, from the standpoint of just guarding my mind and my heart. Again, I've said this before, when you, and those of you who have gone through grief and have lost someone that you love so deeply, when you kiss the person you love so much goodbye for the last time.
Okay, and so a lot of people on X are misrepresenting what that statement was. She's not saying that she kissed him the morning he left, right? We know her public statement, her testimony of that morning was that she was still asleep and that she did not get to kiss him goodbye in the morning. Okay, she's just saying that she remembers when it was the last kiss, which must have been the night before or the day before, because if they did get in a fight that night, which I think they did, and that's why Charlie slept in the other room, and that's why Gigi slept in the room with Erika, that he probably didn't make up, right? Charlie left, told her to stay home. He didn't wake her up and say goodbye. He didn't wake her up and give her a kiss. He went and grabbed his necklace and his ring, took a shower and got dressed in a different bathroom, and then left without saying goodbye. That leads me to believe that they did get in a fight, and most likely he didn't kiss her the night before in a fight and kiss her. And we know that he didn't kiss her goodbye the morning of, based on her retelling of that day. So she's not talking about that day. She's talking about just whenever it was the last time that they kissed. She remembers that time.
There is nothing that anyone can ever say or do that could ever hurt you.
Right.
And the freedom of that is unbelievable.
It's such
because for me, this is so much more. And Hutz, we've talked about this before. Turning Point USA, Turning Point Education, all of our different programs. This is so much more.
It drives me nuts. She swallows so much. It drives my misophonia crazy. And they always have her mic turned up so much that you can like hear each individual like saliva thing when she like her lips like come together and separate. It just drives me nuts.
Than just an organization. This is what my husband fought for and what he believed in and what he wanted other people to be inspired by and with and through. So that's why being able to see all of this happen around us, I'm like, that's just noise. It's the enemy trying to distract all of us in this room.
No. Just trying to get to the bottom of the assassination, my dear. Trying to do your job for you and the authorities' job, the FBI and the state of Utah, the attorney, the prosecution team. No, it's not noise. We're trying to figure out who killed Charlie Kirk.
All of our students, it's trying for them to create a divide and a division between something that is so united. And it would be such a disservice to everything that Charlie built if we focused on that and we didn't focus on actually building.
And that's exactly what she just said, what James just said on the podcast from April, right? That we just watched before this, right? That's a distraction. It's noise. Okay. Stop focusing on the assassination and the investigation. Focus on the winning. Focus on what we tell you to focus on.
Building and moving the needle and making a difference in this country. And so when you hold that perspective of this isn't earthly. Like you have to keep your mind and your heart and your mission heaven focused. And for me, that's all I'll ever be focusing on is that. And it's just an honor to be able to have you and the rest of the team and all of you guys in this room and our students and all of our other supporters being able to be a part of that mission, because it's so much bigger and greater than just us at the end of the day.
So appreciate that. And that's really the answer to the question. I mean, you understand this, what you're going through from a spiritual perspective, that this is spiritual warfare. And to just claim you're a victim of circumstance, completely misses the bigger picture. But
she is playing the victim card for sure.
You see that, and I think many of us see that as well. I know, though, all these folks here and so many more, of course, Erika, are just so burdened and care about you and the kids, and they would just love to know, beyond what you just shared, how are they doing? How are you doing as a family? And how can we specifically pray for you?
So when all of this happened, I had a dear friend say to me that when George Bush, I believe it was senior, when
this is such a weird story, guys.
He got out of office, a woman came up to him and said, "Sir, we were praying for you your entire presidency. Like, it was an honor to pray for you." And he goes, "I know, because I felt the absence of those prayers when I left office." And I always thought,
do you guys really believe that George Bush is a real Christian? Give me a freaking break, bro. Okay, him and Dick Cheney, okay, our government in cahoots with, probably Philadelphia, planned and executed 9/11 as one of the gnarliest false flags ever. Okay, and then sent Americans, me included, right, to fight in a foreign war for no reason, no weapons of mass destruction for Philly. It was Philly's plan. First, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria. Okay, we need Iran, Lebanon, doing the bidding for another evil country, the synagogue of Satan. And you're sitting here trying to tell us like this story about George Bush said he felt the absence of the prayers of the people when he left office. Give me a break, Erika.
When people say, "Oh, our prayers are with you," or during a tragedy, and I said, "Okay, I'm praying for you, but what else can I do?" Being in this position now, when someone says, "I'm praying for you," that
tell the truth.
is the greatest blessing and gift I could ever get. That is worth more to me than any DoorDash.
What about the $500 million you got? Okay. What about all the money? If the prayers, that's funny. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Jay the Yapper just did a thing on X, a post on X that he got like a donation request letter, and he crossed out all of the how much money are you going to give? How much money are you going to give? He crossed it all out and was like, no. And then he put a check in the box for prayers. But we'll pray for you. Okay. If that's really how you felt, that prayers was the most meaningful thing that people could do for you, then stop asking for money, Erika. Stop sending out money to college students and old people or everyone asking for money when you are a $500 million organization now. You don't need any more money. If you just need prayers, then just ask for prayers. That's my challenge to you. Put your freaking money where your mouth is.
Than any amount of gift card. The prayers and that hedge of protection and that the power of prayer is so important, and to feel that weight in a good way is the only thing I can honestly be able to point to aside from the Lord being our strength.
So
I mean, the prayers of others has just been phenomenal, but
such a liar.
Every day is different. Those of you who've gone through grief, like I said, it fluctuates. It's a wave. There are moments where you're just sitting there and you're like, brace for impact. Like,
can you point to one day where you did that and we saw? We just don't have that in our memory of like what happened, and we're still waiting for like real Erika, real grief. I mean, it would have came by now, but it hasn't. So I mean, no, I don't believe you.
It's the wave is coming, and you just got to sit there and let it smack you in the face and then wash off. Okay. But it's one of those things where every day is different. I want my children, of course, their childhood is going to look very different from a lot of other children's childhood.
Even worse so now. I mean, you're not with them. They lost their father forever, and now you're not there. You're not there either.
But I want them to know that they are so loved, that they have a army of people believing in them and supporting them, praying for them. But honestly, just a prayer of, again, protection, prayer for their hearts too, for my babies, because I don't know how there is no blueprint here. That's the weirdest part of all of this. Right. I have tried to look at other widows that have been semi in the similar situation, which is, it's very different at the same time, because now we have social media and all this other crazy stuff out there. But there's no blueprint. So I am just relying so heavily on the Lord to just guide me on how to raise my babies through this, just really trusting in that. And it's going to take a village, and I want them to just
no, it literally would just take a mother to stay home, because you're a millionaire. You also have Charlie's parents and sister. It wouldn't take a village. It just would take just you, but you refuse to do that. Right. And it sounds like you're offloading your kids to a village to be raised. Okay.
Have prayers for their heart, because I don't know how it'll manifest in them when they get older. I do know that they will be walking with the Lord, and I do know that it's the little moments, like a father-daughter dance, or like my daughter not being able to have her father walk her down the aisle. Those little moments that I just pray for. Or like Charlie teaching my son how to throw a football. It's like little things like that. But
how does she not cry when she says that? She laughs. I mean, it sounded like she was getting choked up, but like talking about how that like Mac will never get to learn how to throw a football from Charlie.
Just their hearts would be, and a hedge of protection around us and around the organization, because the enemy would love nothing more than to have destroyed what Charlie built with that one bullet. And it's not going to happen. It's just not.
With that one bullet, you guys, don't worry about tainting the jury pool, guys. That one bullet, that man, that bullet, I forgive him. She had to push the narrative, man. Like that whole statement could have gone just, I mean, it still would have been bad, but without that one bullet, she had to put it in there. It's nuts. What do we got, Zebra Z? It is entirely possible to honor your husband's legacy without being in the spotlight. You can be CEO and chair of TPUSA and not in our face every day. I agree. She doesn't have to be the front-facing, public face of TPUSA. She wants it. She loves it. Okay? she says in a video that we'll watch in a little bit, like, there's no way I could see that this would be my life and that I wanted this for my life, and coming into Charlie's orbit and all of the attention and fame and la, la, la. Yeah, you did. You did. You were dating Cabot Phillips, who was like working with and knew Charlie. You knew exactly who Charlie was. You almost met him 4 different times. You knew who he was in Jerusalem. You came to, he was at the rally that you were at. You came to the TPUSA headquarters 2 times, met him once, saw him the other time, and then you eventually met him at the Bill or Bob's Burgers in New York, all on the behest and, pushing of Tyler Boyer. You knew exactly who Charlie was. You were also already politically active. You were doing things in DC. Barron pointed that out. You were not ignorant to the life of Charlie Kirk at all. Such a liar.
Refuse to let it happen.
Okay.
So, folks, there you have it. I mean, Erika specifically said one of the things, the best thing that we can do for her is to pray for her and her family. And I would encourage you to do that every day, not just occasionally, but every day.
And send money.
I make that a priority in my personal prayer life. For her and for her family, her kids every day. It's something that we can all do wherever we are.
Yeah.
So let's agree together. We're going to do that. But Eric,
real quick, will you guys do me a favor? And just, if you haven't done so already, we got 300 people in here, and we got about 137 likes. If you haven't done so, just hit the like. I really appreciate it. All right. Thank you.
Erika, you called yourself a widow. I mean, that probably seems strange to even call yourself a widow. I mean, you're a young woman, and the last thing you're thinking that I'm a widow. But I do want to ask you a hard question. Not that these other ones were easy, but many of us were touched significantly, profoundly, the way that you were able to forgive the killer of Charlie.
No, that literally made no sense to all of us with a brain. All of us with a heart, all of us with a partner. It literally made no sense that this woman could get up there and forgive someone that she did not know for a fact actually assassinated Charlie or not. She couldn't have known at that point. None of us knew anything, really. She's not on the prosecution team. She wouldn't have been privy to anything that we weren't privy to. We know that from the Candace Owens meeting with her. She knew what we knew. That's what her lawyer said. So her forgiving Tyler with the information and the evidence that was even out then, the lack of evidence, is even worse. It's even worse now. We know more now of how impossible and improbable it is that Tyler was even on that roof that day at all. And yet she got up there and forgave someone for something that she did not even know if they actually were guilty of.
Can you kind of walk us through that?
Yeah,
and how did God give you the grace and ability to even say the words?
Let's hear it.
Let alone mean it.
Yeah, let alone mean it.
For those of you who have been in a position of having to forgive someone who has done something unbelievably painful to you and your family, you realize that if you don't let go of that, it'll destroy you. That is not to say you forget. That is not to say that you accept and that you allow and that you condone it. It's putting you in a position that the devil does not have a foothold in your life. Because when I get to heaven, God willing.
That was weird.
And
when I get to heaven, God willing. Why would it be God willing? You put your faith in Christ. He's your Lord and Savior. You accepted him into your heart. You claim to be a Bible professing, Christian. You're following God supposedly in Christ's example. You believe in salvation. Why would it be God willing if you got to heaven? Erika, are you guilty of something? Subconsciously, is there some doubt in your mind that you deserve heaven, that you will be given heaven as a reward for your faith in Christ? God willing. Interesting.
I stand before God And he says, I forgive you except for this one thing. Like, and it's like, I don't want anything to separate me from being reunited with my husband.
Oh,
And
there it is.
it was one of those moments where I prayed on it. I wrote that speech broken apart in between waking up at like 2 to 3 a.m. because I sleep with my daughter now. And so it's very acrobatic. She'll sleep sideways. She'll sleep with her head down by my feet and then switch around.
How do you sleep with your daughter when you're on the road so much, when you're traveling so much? They're not with you. That would be so selfish of you to bring them with you everywhere you went. Like, they're kids. They need consistency, stability, routine. They need to be in their own bed, in their own home. So they're not with you all the time. You're on the go all the time. And it seems a little codependent. I mean, like, I could see initially, right? But like, I don't know, that's probably just another just narrative for sympathy.
She's like she's a 3, almost 4-year-old. So again, it's like gymnastics all throughout the night. And it's funny because those of you who are mothers, you spend.
Oh, I get it. That was the whole BS story that she told Jesse Waters and everyone, that she's in there in the bed, and that's why Charlie couldn't sleep in there, because she's doing like cartwheels and backflips and somersaults in bed, and she's just such a acrobatic kid when she sleeps. And so Charlie, to get good sleep, Erika offered him to sleep in the toddler bed.
A lot of time, like, sleep training your child, like, it's really exciting for you to sleep in your own bed. And like, I was totally on board for that. And then when everything happened, it's just that all went out the window. And I was like, whether you like it or not, you're sleeping with your mother. So like,
oh, wow.
I need you more than you probably need me in your bed.
That sounds pretty codependent. You need the 4-year-old more than the 4-year-old needs you. Okay.
So throughout the night, I'd wake up and I would just write what's on my heart. I always found writing to be super cathartic. It's just a thing.
Not a journal.
And sorry, I did not expect to be crying this morning. So just blame it on the allergies.
Yeah.
Allergies in Chicago for the summer. But it was one of those things where I was putting it all together. And I remember sitting with my pastor the night before, and I read it through, and I told him, I was like, there's one thing in here that I
wonder who was the pastor. James Kaddis. Okay, she didn't say priest, she said pastor. It's probably James Kaddis.
haven't added. And I told him what it was. And I said, I just really need to pray on this. I said, this is not something to be prescripted. There's going to be something in the moment where, if it is meant to be said and I truly believe it, I want the Holy Spirit to convict me to say it. Do
you guys believe that she wrote that speech herself, and that she wrote that forgiveness, I forgive him part in, but that like wrote above it, only if the Holy Spirit moves me in the moment will I actually do it? Do you believe that story? I don't, because the outcome shows the motive, in my opinion. The outcome of her forgiving Tyler on that memorial that millions of people witnessed and hundreds of thousands or thousands of people were present for, it made her look holy. It made her look so perfect. And it made people believe that she knew something that we didn't. And that if she could forgive Tyler 8 days after, then she must know for a fact that he did it, or else why would she be forgiving him of something she, thought might be true? You don't forgive someone for something that you suspect might be true.
I want to say it just because, to say it.
Yeah, you did.
I want to be totally freed.
Oh.
And I do not want that man to have any piece of my heart, my soul. That would destroy me. That would destroy my family and my kids. And how many times God has forgiven us for everything. And again, it's not to condone. It's unbelievably painful. It's the worst thing you could ever go through in your entire life. But when I said that, it was because it was something I really meant.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
And again, it wasn't scripted. And I just knew that saying that was my moment of being able to literally make.
You had to say again, it wasn't scripted. It just was scripted in the fact that I wrote it the night before. But then I gave a caveat that like only if the Holy Spirit moves me to say it in the moment, then I'll say it. Then like, why write it down, dude? Okay.
Make a statement against Satan, saying you can take my husband and you can try to divide this country. But I refuse to let you take any piece of me because I need to be here for my babies.
My babies.
And I need to also be here for what my husband left for us and
The organization. Oh my gosh, bro.
entrusted to us.
Thank you for sharing that, and so powerful. The impact of that, I think, is continuing on. I know it is, Erika, continuing on in so many people's lives right now. Well, let me flip the page just ever so slightly. So now you're the CEO of Turning Point USA. That happened literally overnight. I mean, there was a board process that completely affirmed your role as the next CEO of Turning Point USA. But this is not like a mom and pop grocery store. I mean, Turning Point USA is a growing, dynamic, multifaceted organization, Turning Point Education being one of maybe 6 or 7 major divisions of Turning Point USA. And so now you're the CEO. What has been some of the challenges, but also some of the blessings of stepping into that role, a role that you had not anticipated that was going to happen like that?
Let me pull the curtain back just a little bit for you guys, because I think a lot of people have some misunderstanding is not the right word, but I think it's just helpful to clarify a few things here. Those of you who have spouses that you have watched build a company, an organization, a startup, that you've been alongside them for that, you see the inner workings of things. You see how much they pour their heart and their soul into something. You see the decisions. You become their confidant, you become their vault, you become their sounding board. And so as time went on, being with Charlie, there was no daylight between us. So him and I were.
Remember, someone very important, Andrew Colvett, said on that podcast, I can't tell you who, but someone very important called Erika and said, So what do you know? And she said, everything. And Andrew goes, ooh, give me chills. She didn't know everything. Or she lies about the things that she did know, right? She didn't know that Charlie had sent out a text the night before saying, I think they're going to unalive me. She didn't know that he was totally turning on Philly, that he didn't want to go to war with Iran and do a regime change for Philly, that he wanted Massey to get reelected, that he wanted transparency, accountability, and justice with the Jeffy Epi files. I mean, there's so many more examples, right? Forgiveness was it vacuous? Was a vacuous ploy. Did I pronounce that right? I'm so sorry if I didn't. I think so, right? Like a vacuum, like ploy to kick off the deification of the widow narrative. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a very good point. And then again, here we go. Oh, thank you, by the way. What was your handle? Is Ves Barada. And then we have Kimadu McGee. Because people are crazy and this is cheaper than therapy. Yeah. Wait, what's cheaper than therapy? I don't know if that was in response to something I said or something she said.
Always in lockstep.
Oh, you and Charlie.
And we just like anyone else. I mean, we had a emergency plan. Which obviously we never thought would have to be executed on, but it's one of those things where we obviously have had the conversation of, God forbid, if something happens to you or myself, what's the plan? We were not foreign to death threats, or
Someone please clip this part. This part hasn't even gone out yet. Most of this video hasn't even reached the internet.
Personally got rape threats. We have kidnapping threats. Like it's not something that's foreign to us. So it was a conversation that needed to be had. And of course it's uncomfortable, but life is life. Life is short. It's good to know that you have a plan. So all along, Charlie and I, we confided in the team. It wasn't an unknown thing. God forbid if something happened, this is the route we're going to take. I am so grateful that Charlie had me involved in literally as much as possible with Turning Point USA, TPUSA Faith, other programs within the Turning Point USA umbrella.
I mean, Matt said that he barely even saw you until like they started pushing you out there in 2025, you know? And I don't believe that Charlie involved you in all of the inner workings of the organization. You were when you asked if he wanted you to go to UVU, he said, no, your place is at home. You're needed at home with the children. That's what he felt. That's what he thought. That was the agreement. That's what he said to everybody. That's what he told everyone to do. Husband, work, make the money, provide, protect, lead. Wife, raise, care for the children, you know, and what was the guard your home, be the guardian of your home and your children. And no, he's 31 years old. He's not walking around every day preparing everyone for his death. That's a freaking lie. Give me a break. They can't provide one video or audio of him saying this. The one that they give us is from Aspen, and it was totally AI clipped, edited, you know, doctored, created, and they put it in between. They put other videos and music and still photographs in between, in the middle and after, and he's like clearly laughing. People that were at Aspen, per Mags, and who's a person on X, and Candace, who's spoken to donors, said that's not the context of what the question was at all. That the way that they're saying that went down is not how it went down. And the only people we have who tell this story are all the people that have lied to us about everything. Erika Kirk, Blake Neff, Andrew Colvett, Mikey McCoy. And we're supposed to just believe him. No. Charlie said it. He said it all the time, just like he was preparing. Remember, he was preparing Mikey. In the event that I die, you got to call. Ready, set, go. I'm dead. Call. Ready, set, go. A call. BS. This is all BS. Like he was walking around in the last year of his life telling everyone that, hey, we really got to prepare in case I die. We really got to prepare. I need you to be doing this, and you're going to be CEO, and you're going to run the organization, even though I know I have always publicly said that should never be the case. And in the event that I'm gone, it wouldn't be because of old age. It'd be because something horrible happened to me. I don't want you to be in that same position, because now you're going to be the only parent for our children. Not to mention I work 325 to 350 days a year. I'm barely home. We had to create the whole Sabbath thing so I could just be there with you guys. And then now I'll be gone, and you're going to take that same role and responsibility and be gone that much? BS. Lies. Don't believe it.
So much so to the point when everything happened, there was a 0% learning curve here.
Oh.
So I didn't walk into the office for the first time being like, wow, what is this place? There's 6 buildings. But before all of this, I used to take the kids to the office pretty much daily. Sometimes because like Gigi would have dance class and stuff like that every other day, whatever, but I would bring them in because I wanted them to see Daddy doing his radio show. I wanted them to be able to see running around the office.
I don't even know if that's true. Like daily, Charlie was like, he was pretty adamant of not bringing your personal life into work. Okay.
Is having fun and making friends with some of the employees because they would give them gifts. Like it was a family, and it still is a family. And that's the way.
The same family that you worked, what was it? 20 hours a day, 80 hours a week, pay them just pennies on the dollar, don't appreciate them, slander them, fire them, accuse them, harass them, force people to quit. interrogate people that are asking questions and have doubts about the official narrative. That's not a family, my dear, unless you grew up in a very, very dysfunctional family, which I think you did. So that might make sense, actually.
That the organization has always operated. And so when it came to the moments after everything happened, I didn't look at the room and say, Huds, who are you? I didn't. I knew all of them by name. I know a vast majority of our.
That's not even true. Remember when she told the story about the kids that she, her children that she took with her, and that she came back and like the kids were saying employees' names and she didn't know their names. The employees that were like watching and caring for her kids and giving them stuffed animals and stuff. Erika didn't even know who these kids' names were.
Staff by name. I know their families. I know their backgrounds. I know what programs they're working on. I never had to say, Huts, what are you guys doing for Turning Point Education? You need to stop, because what happens is, and those of you who...
You guys, she's mentioning HUDs because HUDs is part of Turning Point Education and HUDs is there. Okay. HUDs is on the top of her brain because they're there right now.
Own either companies or organizations, what happens is it's almost like a new football coach that comes in where I guess we'll just use Alabama as an example. A new Alabama head football coach comes in and they'll sit back and they'll look at the strategy. They'll look at the game plans. They'll look at the offensive coordinator. They'll look at the defensive coordinator. They're going to look at everything and they're going to say, this works, this doesn't, this, I don't know about this. Let's pause on this. There's going to be a lot of that. We don't have time for that. And so this is not a 2-year pet project. This is a 14-year-old organization that my husband started a long time ago with a very definitive mission and vision. And he shared that with me all the time, just as he instilled it upon you guys as well.
Oh, I bet.
So when I was in those rooms, after everything that happened, of course we're mourning, of course we're grieving, but I had the luxury and the blessing of being able to know all.
Wait. When she says she's in those rooms, she's referencing that Zoom call that we've all seen. How has she not come out yet and addressed what we all saw? How has she not come out and tried to explain what we saw on that Zoom call, that work phone call, that video phone call or work video meeting Zoom, which was 5 days after the assassination, where she is all smiles, laughing and giggling about the emojis at the bottom of the screen, promising all of them that they're family and that they're not going anywhere. What? Give me a break. Let me get this super chat just popped up. She's struggling so hard to be relevant and missing. Yeah. Yep. She's got to stay relevant. I agree.
All of them by name and saying, go do it. You guys know your marching orders. You already know what needs to be done to make sure that this organization is successful. Go do it. And I am so proud of you. And this is
you said in the meeting, if anyone had an email from Charlie Kirk, that they were done. That like, hey, not that we're done, just that we're done. Okay, so if Charlie put you on assignment, if he sent you an email and he wanted you to do something X, Y, or Z, I'm here now, and it's going to be Turning Point USA 2.0. I'm the boss, right? And we know that Charlie sent out that email on September 2nd saying like, I want a docile effort and I want to reshape company culture. I don't think he had this in mind when he was saying, I want to reshape the organization's culture. Not in this direction, Erika.
Painful, but we will make Charlie proud. And what was so amazing through all of it is that I was able to then not say, hey, Huts, stop what you're doing. I need to see what your program is. I need to see what your plan is for the Educator Summit. Maybe we shouldn't do it. Maybe we should. No, I didn't have to say that. I said, please move forward because I trust you and I've known you and I know it'll be amazing and we can't stop. We cannot afford to stop for 1 year, 1 month, 1 moment.
No.
We just can't. This has to keep going, and it's going to be done in a way that honors my husband. It's never separated from his vision and original mission and purpose.
That's a lie, and we all know that.
And that's how it'll always be. And everyone that is in a leadership position here was hand-selected by my husband. This is not, again, a new...
Once again, right? Okay, because if you love Charlie and you respect him and you know how smart and gifted and what an eye for talent he had, right? But what a log in his eye for the character of that talent. Yes, he was able to spot people that could, perform a duty, a job, a position, right? But could he spot the internal character that they possessed or didn't possess? No, he couldn't. And so you guys are restating over and over again that Charlie handpicked everyone: Tyler, Terrell, Philip, Mikey, Blake, Andrew. All of these people were shoved on him. Charlie didn't want Andrew. There was some sort of created, issue that Charlie needed help with. Tyler had Andrew had forced himself on Charlie before that, and dang it, man, I keep messing up the name. Andrew Colvette kept texting him and asking him. Charlie was ghosting him. This is Andrew, what he said. Okay, and then this problem came, a manufactured crisis, and he got nudged to reach out to Andrew Colvette. And then Andrew Colvette has never left the scene. Okay. Blake Neff, Mikey McCoy. All of these people came in the picture after Erika, and I don't think were strategically hand selected by Charlie. Obviously he's running the organization and ultimately it's his say, but I don't know, in my opinion, I don't think he actually knew and was yes. The whole story of Mikey McCoy and driving him, that was told to us by Mikey McCoy and Rob McCoy. We can't take that to the bank. Are you kidding me? We don't know how and when and why Mikey was hired. The whole story, the people that have told us that BS story is Mikey and Rob. Liars. He had blood all over his face. Give me a break. No, he didn't. He ran away, dude.
Rodeo that we're on. This is something that these individuals have been put in place by my husband. They know what they're here to do. They know that they're here to honor and serve the Lord, and they know that they're here for something so much greater than just themselves. And I have to say, it is.
They keep doing this, dude. They hijack Charlie. So Charlie, we don't know. We can't prove or disprove anything she's saying. So we just have to accept it. We are smart enough not to accept it, but the people in the crowd have no clue, right? That because Charlie supposedly said she should be CEO, I appoint her as CEO. Erika will do a great job. Well, Charlie said it, so we must accept it. Charlie handpicked all these people. Therefore, we must accept them. We must stop being critical of them. We must stop investigating them. We must stop asking questions of them. Oh, because Charlie said so. So just shut up and accept it.
Such a blessing and tremendous honor to be able to witness the team step up in the way that they have during immense grief that would absolutely cripple any other organization. But since we are so understanding of why we're here,
you're the only one.
Anything that's outside of that and outside of the jet stream of God's will not impact.
The jet stream of God's will. She says that all the time. Swim in a stream of significance. Can you stop with your bumper sticker slogan Christian statements and just be like a real human? Real people don't talk like that, Erika. You're missing the mark. Okay. This is why you're not relatable. You're up there performing a role for everyone. You're regurgitating and reciting a script that you've memorized.
Impact or slow us down ever.
These people are so stupid.
Erika, first I want to thank you for the football illustration because I understood that. Right. So that was very helpful. But I do want to say that somebody who's on the inside.
Oh, inside.
Erika is stepped into her role given the
God.
tragic circumstances that she's had to step in, and you heard all the background leading up to, but she has done that as seamlessly and as effectively and as wonderfully as possible. I mean, I've had a front row seat.
Oh.
And I don't know any other organization that could lose its founder, its visionary, its spokesperson, the person that everyone looked to, and then continue on as well as Turning Point is continuing on amidst all kinds of lies, fallacious stuff that's out there. And that's a credit to you, Erika, for all the reasons you said, but I've seen it firsthand, and it's been extraordinary.
No.
And it's allowed us to continue on. I mean, we're doing things more this year, not less, since September 10th, which is amazing. This is the largest educator summit we've ever had, and we're
Bro, you're an employee. You make money. This is your job. Okay, you're not gonna, poop on your boss. You're singing her praises, just like Frank Turek and Jack Hibbs and James Kaddis and Greg Dunham. Like, oh, Erika's so amazing. TPUSA is so amazing. All the people that work there are so amazing. It's the best organization ever. It's got to be God's will. God's got his hand of blessing on this organization and Erika Kirk. So you better not stand in the way of God's will. Hijack our faith.
On this upward trajectory in all of our areas, but that's true across the board. And again, it's a tribute to your leadership, your relationship to Charlie, and how you work together as a team. And God sovereignly prepared you without you even knowing to step into the role. And it's been wonderful to see. Well, I think everybody at Turning Point knows that Turning Point Education is your favorite division. I mean, let's just be honest here, Erika. So, but tell us why you love Turning Point Education and what we're doing.
So I have a soft spot for Turning Point Education, aside just from your leadership within it and your history with Charlie and myself. What's really special is to be able to see all the different programs underneath the Turning Point USA umbrella. It's a lot, and it's sometimes hard for people to comprehend because there is so much going on. So what this could just be its own organization itself, because there's so many things within this particular little vein. And so, but
it's called an affiliate.
What I love is that with this growth, to go back to that one comment you just made, we are taking that so seriously to steward it wisely. This is not something that's going to be a flash in the pan. Turning Point Education, to me, Charlie, he even said it. He wanted this to be bigger than all of the public school system in the country. And with anything, in the beginning, Charlie was trying to weave the needle of what should we do with this or what should we do with that? And I think that you guys have really struck the rhythm appropriately. But what's so special is that Charlie and I we were student athletes. We had several teachers in our life that as students really poured into us and was there for us. And I think what some people forget is that you guys spend sometimes more time with these children than their own parents. And for you guys to be able to pour into them American values and just love of the Lord and other amazing curriculum that we have set aside, that really does make a huge difference in the lives of these children. But not only that, what I love is that there is something for everyone at Turning Point USA at every age. So
they want infants, you guys. They want toddlers, and they do. They're now in high schools. They'll probably eventually be in junior highs and elementary schools. Maybe eventually in preschools. They want to get kids right away and start brainwashing them and indoctrinating them into the TPUSA theology, which is pro-Philly and pro-war. They do sell baby clothes on their website, and they definitely do want your kids. It's nuts.
0 to high school. You have Turning Point Education, You also have our communities program. There's so many, you have TPUSA Faith. There's so many things within that period. And then from
This is nuts the more I think about it. Like literally, you know, like they wanted to create an app called like the Everything app, right? And it's like what China has, like, you know, it's like banking, social credit score. It's like a social networking thing. Like it's a one app for everything. It's like, that's what TPUSA is, as an organization. It's like one organization that literally has its tentacles, its fingers of control and influence and manipulation and propaganda in everything. That's what they want. That's nuts. It's like a monopoly.
From high school to college, you have Club America. And then from college, to college, end of college, you have our chapters with our program. And then after that, you have our young professionals in our communities program. So there's something for you at every age and stage of life with Turning Point. But again, going back to the educator side.
What about old people? Do you have something for old people? What about senior citizens? What about AARP cardholders? Do you have something for them? What if they want to get involved?
You guys play a massive role.
I just saw a super chat. Let me hit this. New TPUSA philosophy is anti-Charlie, and we see it. Brian Carter, thank you for the super. Yeah. I mean, it couldn't be more obvious. It literally couldn't. And it's just so crazy to think that there's people, you know, around the United States and in person there that actually believe this slop that they're being, fed, force fed.
In the front lines of what's going on in our country, because without you guys, people are going to rewrite history. They're going to rewrite different. I mean, literally, they're probably even going to try to rewrite my husband's assassination. It's
that right there. Hold on, let me back that up so that someone can do a clip on this. Hold on.
Rewrite history. They're going to rewrite different. I mean, literally, they're probably even going to try to rewrite my husband's assassination. You guys are in the middle of history being made.
No, we are in the middle of history being rewritten in front of us. We all, with a brain and independent, thinkers, like, have all that. We don't even know each other. Like, we know each other through this community. And there's other communities similar, like Candace Owens and Baron Coleman, but like, we are all in separate locations looking at you, Erika Kirk, and this assassination and the official Fed slop narrative. And how is it that all of us have come to relatively the same conclusion? We may not be on the same exact conclusion as to the method and mode of the device or the weapon used to assassinate Charlie, but most of us are in agreement that it wasn't Tyler Robinson, it wasn't a 30-06, and it wasn't a magic bullet. It wasn't one bullet, right? It wasn't one furry lone gunman boyfriend kid that was radicalized online. We all don't believe that nonsense. And you're rewriting history right now, trying to tell us that it is and trying to stop us investigating it.
And I find it so important for us to be able to be an added resource to you all.
Yeah.
Whether that's, trying to make understanding of what's going on in this world.
That's why they have all of those websites, TylerRobinson.com, CharlieGotOwned.com, Charlie was off.com, and there's many more. You click on them, you type those into a search bar, and it reroutes you to them so that they can give you their version of history, their version of current events, world news, national news, and their version of the Charlie Kirk assassination. That's why they are involved in propaganda and engaged in controlling reality.
Or how better you can, serve the students, or how you can explain things better, or even just being a part of a room like this, finding like-minded educators that you can rally with when things get tough. And
I bet nobody knows at these events that Superfeed Technologies, Lori Fronsvy's company and technology that is part of the FAR filings, Show Faith by Works, and the Clock Tower X, any of these events that you go to, your phone is going to be grafted in to this geo tagging and caching and tracking. And then they're going to be sending you pro-Philly, anti-Palestine propaganda. And then when you leave that phone, your phone now has got like a virus, so to speak. And anytime and anywhere you go, it's going to infect the other devices near you.
Calling them being like, hey, the admin that I have right now is just awful. What did you figure out is a good way to balance XYZ? And so really what Charlie always wanted to create with these types of summits and these gatherings is so that people knew that they weren't alone. There's something really, really powerful and special in numbers and in community. And that was deeply broken during COVID, deeply broken. And I see this even so much to the point of even today. We have lost the bare bone basics of trust from human to human.
Because of
There are
you.
people who trust a machine, an AI, more than they trust a person.
No. That's not true. That's not true. I mean, we don't trust the people in power, the people in control, the government, right? The federal government. We don't trust politicians, liars. We trust one another. We don't trust all of you.
It's just the way it is. If you go on the internet and you type in something and Grok says this is what it is, they're going to believe that's what it is because Grok told them.
No.
But Grok is not always correct. Grok is a machine and it gets fed what it is told.
Oh, you're so
But a
smart.
human, if you can't trust a human, that's a bare bones soul issue that needs to be worked out in our country. And that was deeply broken in COVID because if you can't trust your neighbor, you can't trust your pastor, you can't trust your teacher, then of course you're going to trust a computer. Why not? It'll tell you what it wants, what you want to hear. You can create it to be an agent for you of whatever, you're working on.
She's so
And
smart.
so that's what we're even noticing, even aside from Turning Point USA, even our Turning Point Action side, with our door knockers and the people that are boots on the ground. We are reestablishing, and this is going back to you guys too, you're reestablishing the human connection point. And you're reestablishing that brokenness that happened in COVID where it's like, I don't trust you because a human would lie to me, but a computer wouldn't. That's not how this works. And so that's why, again, you guys are on the front lines of being able to show these students trust is so important. What I'm telling you is the truth. Sometimes you don't want to hear the truth. I don't know what to tell you, but the truth is the truth and it will set you free.
Oh my gosh. She's got the truth. She's telling us the truth, ladies and gentlemen. You just trust her on it. Trust her that it's the truth. And yeah.
And so that is why I just want to encourage you guys to really be able to meet and stay connected to one another after you leave this conference and this summit, because once you guys go back out into the front lines, it's going to be so easy that one thing someone says or something happens and you're like, man, what am I doing here? But I just want to encourage you. What you're doing is so important, pouring into our students and even pouring into the rest of your faculty, and know that you're in numbers and you're not alone, and that we're here to support you guys with whatever you need resource-wise, and we've got your back. I want you guys to know that.
Oh, I bet. You got our back, huh?
Erika, that is so well said. And just to underscore one thing that you said, why these guys are, and men and women are so important. All of us here are committed to the local church, or virtually all of us here are committed to the local church. We have a lot of pastors' families that are represented.
Oh, yeah.
Where we live, which is not far from here, on Sunday morning, we can see the way our house is, where we live. We can see a lot of other houses. I mean, maybe 50, 75 houses, just the way we're positioned. And on Sunday morning, literally, there may be one other car that pulls out to go to church. Now, we would all say the church is absolutely critical, that it's a part of God's economy. God is building his church. The gates of hell will not prevail against it. We are committed to God's church, Pastor Lutzer. I just want you to know that. But that's on Sunday. Come on Monday, there is 3 school buses that come by our neighborhood. You see all the cars pulling out of the garages. Kids are getting in the cars. We live across the street from a middle school. You see people walking to school. My point is that unfortunately, so far, currently, the church does not affect every family. But hopefully that'll change. And if God is pleased to bring revival, then maybe it'll really change in our country. And we know that he can do that. But education affects every family in the United States, for good or for bad. And as you well know, we're trying to provide a Christ-centered, virtuous education option for every family in the United States. And so that's why these men and women who are, as you just said so well, are on the front lines. That's how that's going to happen. But literally, our universe is huge for the opportunity of influence. And we see that every Sunday, and we see that every Monday. Turning Point Education Initiative, and just your thoughts about it.
Prep year's special because it reminds me so much of Charlie's gap year. He would talk a lot about June was our organization's birthday, but he would say, I've taken a 13-year gap year, and this is what he built during that gap year. And so prep year is very similar to that. The thing that's so special, those students are phenomenal. Those students are amazing. They're locked in. They're so smart. They're so on fire for learning. And you've done a tremendous job of bringing in amazing speakers for these students to learn from, whether that's economics, whether that's apologetics, whether that's, anyone even in the admin. It's been really special to see how these students have been poured into over a short period of only 9 months. But what's so beautiful about those 9 months is that it gives a breathing room moment for those students to say, you know what, I actually do want to go to college. I want to go to a 4-year institution. This is what I actually want to study, so that those funds aren't wasted. Or, I decided I actually don't want to go to college, and I want to work for one of the individuals that I met that spoke to us, and they can be a mentor to me. Or I want to go and intern or work for Turning Point USA. Selfishly, these are great individuals that we're wanting to hire as well. And it also gives an opportunity for us to connect those individuals to people that are our supporters, that have companies that those students would be great employees for. So it's a really beautiful harmony of bringing in what we have resource-wise to help these students really be able to plan and chart where they want to go to next. But with speaking to them and getting to hear their questions, they're so thoughtful. And I'm really excited that we're going to be opening up Chicago here for the fall season, which is amazing.
That's exactly right.
I know.
We started with 34, and we're going to 130 this next year. 50 in Fort Worth, 80 in Chicago. So
if you live in Fort Worth, Texas, or Chicago, keep your kids out of these Turning Point Education, organization, I don't know, affiliates or whatever they are.
It's amazing.
So, Erika, as I was talking a little bit about Charlie a few minutes ago, and I talked about the impact of a fifth grade teacher by the name of Cindy, and you know the story, of course. But I'm just wondering, is there a teacher or teachers that really had an impact on you, and why was that the case?
In every different, if I look back on it, there would be someone from, I would say, every different stage, I
don't think she can remember one. She can't even remember that she lived in China. Or she lies about it, and she knows, but she's just lying about it. Similarly, she can't tell the truth about her past. So this will be interesting.
Elementary, middle school, high school.
The Tesseract School. Talk about that. Well, that most of the public, at least maybe not the people there, but anyone that watched Candace, Owens, and Baron Coleman, we know a lot about you. The Tesseract School, your haircut, that was very interesting. But it's not a normal educational background. Why can't you just shine a little bit of light on that for us?
Even college, and I think more so for me as well.
Okay.
The interesting part is that all of them were different subject matters. So it wasn't just English, and it wasn't just math. It was each different season was a different teacher.
That's how it goes. Okay, every year you go to a new grade, you get a new teacher. The question was, can you name a teacher who had an impact on your life?
Middle school, it was our history teacher. He was amazing. In high school, it was our theology teacher and my math teacher. In college, it was our economics teacher of all people.
Okay, you're just naming subjects.
Because that was really not my favorite class, to be honest with you. But he was so good about explaining things. And so he would then be able to have, after hour time with the students. And I remember sitting in those classes with these students after hours, just hearing from the teacher in a very, normal way of like, this is how it impacts your life. And hey, how are you doing here? And hey, I'm going to come to your basketball game. Like really cool things like that of just support.
Teachers aren't supposed to come to your games and you're spending after hours with your teacher. I mean, you said it in a group context, but initially you said it in a private context. And then you're like, then he's like, I'm going to come to your basketball game. That's weird. Teachers shouldn't be a male teacher shouldn't tell his female student, hey, I'm going to come support you at your basketball game tonight.
And I'll never forget, again, my mom was a working mom. So
here we go.
She was at the office super late every day. So I was usually the last person to be picked up from school every single day. So I'd be sitting on the bench waiting for her. And, I'd have You
said you went to the Boys and Girls Club, Erika. I thought you went to the Boys and Girls Club, or was that just the summer? Was that just during the summer?
Teacher or an administrator come by and just sit with me and just talk to me.
Yeah.
And it was those little moments that stick with you as a kid where it's like, oh, someone sees me. And someone is taking the time to get to know me or ask me.
Someone sees me. Erika wants to be seen, guys. What a shocker.
Questions or, just spend time with me. And that does not go unnoticed or unappreciated.
Yeah, that sounds sad. If her mom was her dad was around and her stepdad was around, but it sounds like she was a pretty lonely child. She just wanted to be seen. She just wanted someone to spend time with her. I mean, I have some empathy and compassion for that.
I'm a student who probably needs it. So I could give you names, sure. But at the same time, I'd like to probably protect their names. Anything I say now is just all over the internet. So I'm like, the last thing I need is for someone to get doxxed or something ridiculous.
Okay, you could say someone's first name. Are you stupid? That's not doxing someone. You just say the teacher's first name.
Because I said I loved them as a teacher, and then it gets totally spun. I mean, that's how sick this world is right now. But out of protection for them, I'll withhold their names. But they're great people, and some of them are alive, some of them are not now because time's passed. But and even to those of you who are, teachers by day, but then you also coach the sports by night, or you're involved with the sports side of things at your school. Mm-hmm. I was a student athlete. Being a student athlete is something that's very unique. And so when a teacher is involved on both ends of that, and you can relate to the student in multiple ways that way, it's also very powerful and impactful. So again, I just want to encourage you guys that what you're doing is so important, and it'll last people for a lifetime. I mean, you guys know your teacher that you loved the most growing up. No one ever forgets that. You'll never forget the first teacher that you had that made you feel inspired to be a writer.
I never loved my teachers, I liked certain teachers. Thank you, Renita. Member for 4 months. She is in the jet stream of the devil's pee. Yes. And this is our resident comedian and moderator, Renita Sophia. Always bring in the jokes. Love it.
To be a teacher. I mean, I'm sure you guys are here today because there was a teacher in your life that you were like, wow, that's why I want to be a teacher, because so-and-so taught me.
Yeah,
and I want to be like that to someone else. And so there's just little moments like that of inspiration that I just want to encourage you guys to hold on to, because you're not just speaking to a wall, even though sometimes I'm sure you feel like when you're talking to your students, you're like, are they really listening to anything I'm saying? They are. They're just, probably tired, but they're listening. They're listening.
To your point, I can name the names, I think, of all my teachers.
Erika
from
can't.
Kindergarten, certainly through high school,
Erika
and probably
can't.
a lot of my college teachers actually as well. Just because, again, speaking to the impact that teachers have on the lives of students, and certainly coaches too, as you've mentioned. Now, didn't you attend the Harvard of the Southwest, Arizona State? Is that that's often referred to, I think.
Right. I took a very scenic route when it comes to college. It's so funny because Charlie would look at I went to a lot of different schools, and he'd be like, you have the degrees for the family, so it's fine. But no, correct. So I originally started at Regis University in Denver because I got a basketball scholarship there. So I started there, and then
Never really played.
I transferred to Loyola Marymount
But never went to school.
for a semester, and then ended up finishing at Arizona State University. So
What about Pepperdine? You left out Pepperdine. That's my alma mater. Wait, where is it? There it is. How could you leave Pepperdine out? I thought you went to Pepperdine.
tongue in cheek, the Harvard of the West. So
I just thought that's what it was referred to. Somebody mentioned that earlier from Arizona State.
It's not. It's like one of the number one party schools. And it is where Jeffy Epi was involved and giving money and visiting campus. And yeah, nothing weird there.
So, Erika, you know, we associate you so much with the things that we're talking about, but you were Miss Arizona. You're a businesswoman.
No,
the Proclaim 365 is a powerful thing.
It's not a powerful thing. It's not a real company, dude.
Folks here that may not be familiar with some of the business entrepreneurial things that you've done.
That's
and then
dope.
Proclaim 365 is phenomenal.
No,
I did that
not.
last year. It was amazing.
No,
It's absolutely amazing. So others did too.
right. So I'll give you kind of a Spark Notes version. I've actually never shared a lot about myself throughout these past 9 months intentionally. There's really no reason that I feel that I need to. But when I was 16 and I was in high school, we were required to do community service hours in order to graduate. And I noticed that a lot of the students were unfortunately either forging those hours or just doing really easy things to just get the hours, and someone would just write off on the hours. I was like, that's so not Christ-like to be not actually doing what you're saying you're doing. So I decided to start my own little nonprofit and to be able to bring actual tangible moments of time to serve with organizations that actually needed the help. So there was really no money involved with it. It was more along the lines of like, hey, here's an organization that is a part of a dog shelter. They need dog walkers, and like connect those people so that there was other options rather than just going to, I don't know, the soup kitchen or something, which there's nothing wrong with the soup kitchen, but I'm just saying like give the students other options for them to serve in the community. So I started that when I was younger, and just had that throughout high school and college. And then as time went on, I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit within me because I saw my mom build her own.
Yeah, she started Romanian Angels, a nonprofit, at the age of 17, and then got to work hand in hand with the United States Marine Corps. Give me a break. That's sheep dipped through and through. She's an op, man.
Company, and she worked a lot with Homeland Security and Department of Defense, and she had her own patents with different risk assessments and stuff like that. So I was her little, I guess you could say, her intern, when she would go to DC and then get to sit in some of these meetings and just hear and
So you were involved in DC.
see the different ins and outs of how her company operated and worked. But when I got to college, yes, I was Miss Arizona USA. Actually, when Donald Trump owned and ran the pageant. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I mean, no quid pro quo there, right? Right? Yeah. Well, okay.
It was, and then once he no longer owned it, it totally went downhill. But that's a conversation for a different time. But
okay,
I was very focused. I played basketball since I was 5. So my goal when I was little was to play in college. And I did that.
Oh, sure.
And unfortunately,
Barron broke that. Barron and Daisy, she didn't play. I think she went to a couple games. That was it.
my knees were not the best fan of me playing college basketball, especially with all the different weightlifting programs we had. So ended up going a different route and really took the entrepreneurial spirit to heart. And when I was living in Manhattan, I noticed that there's more of a homeless situation there that's more on display than when you're living in, Scottsdale, Arizona. And so at the time, my grandfather was unfortunately passing, and my grandfather and even my grandmother both, but they were just everything to me. Charlie and I had that in common, deeply in common, with our grandparents playing such a huge role in our life. And so I remember going home, and when he passed away, he had a hospital bed next to his bed at home, and I just laid next to him holding his hand, and I just kept reading the book of Ephesians on repeat for him as he just, I mean, it's just labored breath. I mean, you know, he was in his 90s. He lived a beautiful life, but still. And so I kept reading that on repeat. He passed away on a Tuesday at 3:11 p.m. And just to cope with it, I'm sorry if this is not biblical, but I went through every chapter 3, verse 11.
Oh, Mystic, did you hear that? At 3:11. Is that going to ruin the number for you now?
11 thing in the Bible, just to be like, just to cope and just read through the Bible. Came across Luke chapter 3, verse 11, and it said, if somebody has, essentially paraphrasing, if somebody has 2 tunics, give one away to the individual in need. And I thought to myself, that's not relevant to why I'm mourning, but I'll clock it and just go on from there. So as I went back to New York after everything was happening, I was on a train going from the city into upstate New York, and I was just finished reading Isaiah chapter 61, verse 1, and it talks about proclaiming the year of the Lord's favor, and which is also essentially showing that Jesus is coming. It was just the prophecy of all that. And anyway, so I clocked that too. And I was like, okay. And then I woke up on that train ride and I was like, you know what? I keep seeing all these homeless people on the side of the street in Manhattan. Like, how can I be helpful for that? Because what's interesting, and those of you who have worked with people who are unfortunately on the street, you can't really just give them new clothes with a massive logo on it. That's usually how they get either jumped for that item or something, is you have to be a little bit more discreet. So I tested this out. I was with my roommate, and one night we walked by and this woman was on.
Other homeless people jump other homeless people because they have name brand clothes on. I mean, your name brand clothing company, no one would even know. And it's got Bible verses on it. It doesn't say like Nike on it.
On the side of the street. It was really cold. She had a super small blanket. So I went back upstairs and I grabbed my comforter. So I'm like walking down with this comforter, and I gave it to her and just had a conversation with her and just talked to her again, like human to human, and that trust factor, if you will. And I noticed, and we just had a conversation, and I noticed that more and more as I was walking to work or anything like that in Manhattan, these individuals that were so cold with like no sweatshirt or no jacket. So long story short, I was like, look, I love fashion. I understand tech packs. I understand fashion design. I understand all of that. What if there's a way that I can incorporate proclaiming the year of the Lord's favor while also incorporating Luke chapter 3, verse 11, if you have to give one type mentality. And long story short, I talked to one of my dear family friends who was a mentor of mine, who I told him, I was like, look, we're in the heartbeat of the fashion industry. I would love to be able to make a product sweatshirt, particularly black sweatshirt, unmarked with Isaiah chapter 61, verse 1 Bible verse on it, on the sleeve, to remind them that the Lord is with them.
Oh my gosh, I didn't make it this far in the video, so this is, hold on.
A great manufacturer in LA, so I make sure everything from Proclaim is made in the United States. We've actually, thank you. We evolved from just black sweatshirts. Originally, people are like, why did you just choose black? Well, for those of you who enjoy history, it was because of the Black Robe Regiment, and that was something that was very dear and dear to my heart for the preacher standpoint of things, of being able to get the word of God out in a way like that. And so it all started out just being black. And then I remember Charlie coming with me one time to my manufacturer to pick up these loads of sweatshirts. And he was just like, what is this? And I was like, and it was fun because he was an entrepreneur in his own right. And I'm an entrepreneur in mine. So we.
In his own right? No, he was an entrepreneur, and you are something in your own right.
Could always just have these conversations back and forth of what we're building and where we're at. And I would.
You didn't build anything, dude. Give me a break.
Have him try on different sweatshirts and bomber jackets and t-shirts. And I'd be like, what do you think of this? And he'd be like, well, I'm not into fashion, but I really like it. And I was like, well, great. Like, I like your opinion because you're not in my echo chamber. So I want your opinion on how things work. And if it's, function for like.
So you're not in her echo chamber. And so not on the same page, not equally yoked,
built for life. Anyways, so we've expanded over the course of, it's 10 years.
Right. And Charlie doesn't care about material things like you do. Okay. He didn't even care about jewelry. You, on the other hand, have a ring for every finger, and it's not fake gold and diamonds.
Now that I've had Proclaim, but I built it in a way
You didn't build
where I knew that once I got married and entering that season of life, and
That's
once
a
I had
lie.
my children, I wanted to be fully focused on my husband, my children, and just our family. And so I was able and blessed enough to build something that I could have self-sustained, operating on its own, so that I could then be with my kids all the time if I want.
Okay, so this is nuts, right? So it's a lie on so many different levels, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, Barron pointed this out that Proclaim wasn't even really, it didn't even have a website until after she met Charlie, okay? And that Charlie is most likely, I can't remember off the top of my head, maybe someone could throw a chat in, that Charlie's the one that helped her like fund it and actually get it going. And I've had people email me that like, you can't buy Proclaim streetwear stuff. Like they're always out of stock. Like you can get a pamphlet that's free, but you have to pay for the shipping and handling. Also, what she just referenced there is the thing that Charlie said, you shouldn't do with a founder-led organization. But Erika said that Charlie did do this, even though his last interview in that entrepreneur interview was that like founder-led organizations and companies should never divert from that. In fact, it's usually to the demise of the organization or company when you try to remove the founder from the organization or company, right? But here she said like she is so ingenious that from the beginning, she created Proclaim Streetwear to be successful without her, so that she made it vision-led. It's a vision-led company, just like she said Charlie was always had in mind for TPUSA to be a vision-led organization. So in the event, it could be self-sufficient without him, that it would survive, the absence of the founder. And she's so brilliant and better than Charlie that she created Proclaim Streetwear to be a vision-led company that was always intended because like she was always, mindful that she wanted to be married, a trad wife, and raise kids and be a stay-at-home mom. But yet she was chasing, she worked in real estate in Manhattan. She was trying to work in the fashion industry. She was chasing media jobs in Hollywood, in LA. She was in a movie that never went anywhere, like November's Assassin or whatever, that Fort Huachuca movie. She was doing appearances on like talk shows like E, but it was like a different version of E. She did a CIA video. But she was always focused on being a traditional stay-at-home Christian wife and mother, right? And so, but she just, and she had Romanian Angels and her nonprofit, but she always had in mind that she wanted to be this wife and mother, stay at home. So she's going to do all this work and create all these companies just so that she could not run them when she got married. It's just so stupid.
Wanted to pop into meetings, I could. If I wanted to create all the different, designs that we have, I got to.
Well, why can't you do that for TPUSA? Why can't you be a stay-at-home mom and just pop in and out when you want to occasionally? Why can't you just be on like the board of directors or something?
I was very blessed to be in a position where I worked really hard to make it to what it was, and then I could go and spend time with my family in that new season of life. And so we still have it. We incorporated a portion of the give back factor as Bible in 365, where you read a Bible cover to cover in a year. That's the most important part, because once COVID hit,
she got the idea when she locked herself in the room and she read the Bible from cover to cover in 8 months, and then she did it in 9 months.
It was no longer, here's your second sweatshirt to give to someone in need, because I didn't want someone to get jumped, to be honest with you.
Oh my God.
During COVID, things got really kind of sideways with interactions with people, and that people were wearing masks, not wearing masks, became a whole thing. I said, I do not want the liability of that. Instead,
you're so full of it. But you thought people were going to want your clothing so much that they were going to jump people wearing your clothing. That's just a plain black sweater with like Isaiah something on the wrist, but they were going to jump them just to steal your sweater. Okay.
Give back factor will be the gospel standpoint of like, hey, when you purchase something from us, the proceeds of that go straight into our Bible in 365 program, where you do get to read the Bible cover to cover. We have the community of Bible in 365 all together.
She's got to sell that. That's Superfee Technologies is stealing people's data and geo-tracking and them.
And it's really
and sending them, Philadelphia propaganda.
Special. That's we have Pastor James Kaddis from California, who is our pastoral advisor for that.
There you go.
And so to me, the mission of bringing in the gospel tied into something as simple as an item of clothing really proves the point of you don't have to be super outlandish to build something for the Lord. If you have your spirit in check of like, what I'm doing is greater than myself, and keeping that the sole focus, profit doesn't matter. That was never a thing. What matters to me is that people are hearing the gospel.
Profit doesn't matter, you guys. $500 billion and more and growing. And she's still sending out, donor letters to college students. Profit doesn't matter though, right? I fly private jets everywhere I go. I stay in the nicest hotels and resorts. I live in a multi-million-dollar home. I wear only the nicest clothing and thousands and thousands of dollars in jewelry every day, but profit doesn't matter to me.
I don't care if I'm losing money by manufacturing in the USA. I said this to my mentor in the beginning, because he was like, go to China, you'll be able to make more profit. I said, I don't care about the profit. I care about the souls. So if I'm able to make sure that we are able to spread the gospel.
Gosh, she cares about the souls, you guys. Could you be any more fake, Erika?
That means way more to me. So that's the very long but Spark Notes version of the entrepreneurial spirit that has collided with everything else in between.
It's really beautiful. And I really do commend Proclaim 365 as a Bible reading plan. I was amazed how good it was. It was just not because you did it, but I mean, just that it was.
No,
just,
you're
I
sweet.
mean, no,
Look,
I mean,
here's the truth: is that when you start reading the Bible, a lot of Bible plans die in the Old Testament, because a lot of people are like, I am at Leviticus and we're done.
And Charlie was not for Bible apps of any kind.
So what we do is we do Old Testament, New Testament, Psalms, and Proverbs, and we switch off between Psalms and Proverbs. And we do it in that way because it only takes 10 to 11 minutes of your day. That's it. It's not 2 hours. I would encourage you 2 hours to be with the Lord, but it's 10 to 11 minutes of you just reading the gospel. And the thing is that we tie in the Old and the New Testament together. So what you're reading connects, and you're not just reading things out of context. Context is everything when you're reading scripture. So for us, not only do we have that provided to you, but we have resources and also commentaries so that you understand what you're reading, and you're not just like, why am I saying all these names I can't pronounce and this is irrelevant? It actually is relevant. You just have to dig deep reading the Bible, because there is nothing more important than God's word. And that is your sword against all of the principalities. And so as long as you have that, and you understand how important scripture is, everything else is, icing on the cake.
They continue on. What would you say to them as they go back?
Well, quite frankly, I'm glad for you that it's not easy. Because that shows that you're doing something. If it was easy, then you're just going with the flow of the stream. I'm grateful because
the stream of significance, guys,
gives you the opportunity to lean on the Lord and count it all joy when it's tough. It makes you learn even more about why you are convicted of what you believe in and what you're sharing. And it gives you that moment of realizing, like, hey, I'm alive. I have this one life. I have this one moment to impact this generation, and it is tough, but I would much rather it be tough here on earth than in eternity. And I would much rather it be one of those moments where you can, you know that what you're doing is making an impact, even though it might seem days that it's not, but it is. And heaven's watching. And what's more important is that you know that you're using your one life to impact others, but also for the kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
And you're using your one life to make such a difference, just like Charlie, because each and every one of you have your own legacy. Yes, we're under the banner of Turning Point USA. And yes, we have Charlie's legacy that we are all so deeply touched and impacted by, but you have your own also.
Oh my gosh.
And his is inspiring yours and your future children's. And I want to encourage you that, yes, it is tough, but someone's watching you that's being encouraged by your spirit. That could be your niece, that could be your nephew, that could be a student that is so quiet in your classroom that you really have no idea if they're paying attention or not, and they are. And one day that kid might become the president. That kid might become, a Charlie Kirk, an entrepreneur in its own right. I know it's tough, but count it joyful. Count it joyful, because it's showing that you are living in a time and a day and age that's intentionally not easy, because the devil knows that he's running out of time and this is his domain. And he would love nothing more than for you to retreat and to return to him your territory. And so I just ask and pray that you reclaim it and you continue to claim it. And yes, when it's tough, you contact someone here that you made friends with. You contact Huts. You contact me. I don't care if you need just a pep in your step of something, but just know that what you're doing is so important and it really is making a difference. And I am just so thankful to God for each and every one of you for understanding, again, life is short. Do what you can with what the Lord has blessed you with, because when it's all said and done and you do get to heaven, I want you guys to be able to say, God, I did everything I could with what you blessed me with, and there's nothing that I have left.
Okay, Erika. All right, now that was longer than I thought it was gonna be. Ugh. All right, we're gonna check this out. Oh, how long has it been like that? Or wait, no, that's the wrong screen. Oh, great. Okay, hold on. I'll have to just don't go anywhere. Stay right here. I have to refresh something. All right, hopefully that wasn't too long. Let me read this real quick. Anyone here fluent in word salad? Yeah, I know, right? Okay, I'll have to edit that black part out. Sorry, guys. It said my browser. It's because I think some of these tabs I had open from the very, very beginning, which when I started doing everything, was at like 11 this morning. So let me share this to screen. We're going to now look at James Kaddis and Victor Marx attack Candace and say some really weird things. All right. Let me make sure I got the right timestamp on here. It's at 24:03. Where is it? Yep.
Far worse than what most of them have ever gone through, yet overcame.
Will you guys let me know you can hear James and Victor?
And who stands in front of the whole world telling them, I will lead you in doing the same thing I've done for myself and my family. I'm telling you, Victor, they're scared to death of that. They're scared to death of that. They don't have the receipts to prove it. When you were interviewed by Candace, it was the same thing.
Okay,
she
cool.
took a run at you. It had nothing to do with your credentials, nothing to do with Charlie, nothing to do with any of that. The whole reason why that was happening was because she was counting on you losing your mind. She was counting on you flipping out and
Okay, so obviously pro Philly, pro Erika, and now anti-Candace, and now he's going to be telling, and all they do is kiss each other's butt this whole time. It's crazy.
And you were like Jesus.
Oh, Victor is like Jesus, a pastor. A freaking pastor is going to say that Victor Marx was like Jesus. I kid you not. What the actual heck? Look at that smile. He loves that. Yes, I am like Jesus, aren't I?
You were focused
Disgusting.
on what you needed to focus on. You were focused on the intentionality by which you were motivated to solve a problem. You didn't go over there you did not go over there to fight Candace. You went over there to solve a problem. And that's what people are scared of, because now you're going into Colorado.
No one was scared of
And they can make every kind of excuse they want. Oh, he's not experienced. He has no political aspiration, blah, 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 blah. They can say anything they want. But what they're scared of the most is that you have experienced nothing but diversity in your life. And you've used.
No, that's not what it is, bro. He's pretty evil. That's what we've all concluded. Hold on. Let me go to the next one.
And you're right. Back it up to Candace.
Here we go.
You know, people were telling me, why don't you respond, as she was doing episode after episode after episode against me. And you know what I would tell people is, my silence doesn't mean I'm worried,
Okay.
concerned, or losing ground. My
Right.
silence is just that. It's me choosing when to fire my round. I love long distance shooting.
So this is weird. He's talking about Candace, okay? And he's talking about like responding to her and his response and how he's like what he's going to do, and he gives a shooting analogy. I'm going to fire my round. What's interesting is that the whole reason why he was called onto Candace's show is because of his background, but also because of his closeness to Charlie Kirk and Erika Kirk. And that fold AR, him knowing before anyone else that Charlie had passed, right? That not that he was, you know, that the Big Bang happened, but that they actually declared him dead. Victor was the first to announce that. And then to tell Erika, but don't worry, they're not coming after you. And now he's going to give, and supposedly remember, the official FedSlop narrative that they all, you know, hold to is that someone with a long rifle, right, took a long shot and assassinated Charlie Kirk. And now he's going to give an analogy about firing his round and that he likes, you know, shooting long distances. Interesting. I wonder if this is like a veiled threat at Candace.
Like you as a shooter. And nobody can rush you to take a shot.
Yeah.
Amen. You're looking for heat, mirages, wind, depending on the distance, even dealing with the turning of the world on its axis.
That's stupid.
For long distance shots, and nobody can push you. I was telling my bride today, when I was in the Marine Corps and I was learning how to control my emotions, because I was very reactive. Very reactive.
All right, so it was just the part about the threat of the long shot, and then I think, hold on, let me see.
When I fight, nobody's going to make me. And that was an element of just self-control
Yeah,
that I wanted.
okay.
And
Here it is.
you know,
32.
ultimately, I did.
And it's been one of my favorite things in the world, because as a close friend, I've called you during times of adversity. I've brought up situations where I said, hey, this happened or that happened, or hey, what do you think here and what do you think there? And what I absolutely love is your heart for the Lord and your ability to be able to look at things level-headedly. And I think one of the accusations I've heard made about you as a potential governor is you're a Christian, and so you're going to treat, you know, anybody who isn't a Christian terribly, and you're not going to be able to work with people who are, you know, gay, or people who are this or people who are that. And it's like, wait, you have zero clue who Victor is.
Right.
He's one of my best friends in the whole world.
Oh, wow.
And Victor is about as loving and kind as it gets.
Yeah, okay. And so if he's one of your best friends in the whole world, that makes sense why you are out here defending him. But like, we can see you for who you are, my dude. In all the shows that you've done with Erika, you're a liar. You pressured Charlie to marry Erika. You're pro-Philly. Erika is pro-Philly when she lied and then went in front of Tucker and Charlie and was anti-Philly. That's the group. You are who you associate with and hang out with. You are who your friends are. That makes sense to me.
You know, and that's the thing. It's like God doesn't call us to be nice people, but he certainly calls us to be kind in many ways.
Yep.
And one of the things that I've always loved about you is you're so confident about who God has made you, and you're so confident about where you are, and you've been that way for a long time. You have to be that way when you go to battle, by the way. It's like, you can't be in a firefight and be freaked out.
What does James Kaddis know about firefights? I don't think he's prior military. He was like 1,000 pounds. Oh, where is it? Where is that picture of his belt? Hold on. Because in the beginning, it's so weird. It's not important to play. But Victor starts out by like kind of calling him out for how fat he was. So right here. So this is a 6-foot something door. This is the belt that used to be around him. Like, maybe we'll listen to it. So hold on. Watch this.
You're like, well, I'm Egyptian. It is our culture. I'm loud and brash and vivacious. So that made people, of course, I knew the answers before I asked the question.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But on the heavy part, tell people who are watching right now who maybe don't even know you or know you but don't know what you're about to say.
It's not a medical issue like I thought.
Let me see if I can find this. This might actually be interesting. You know what? Here, I'm gonna this will demonstrate this. This is probably a good picture to throw out, and that way people can kind of see it. Okay, I'm gonna just zoom on this, and that way people will understand. Okay,
There.
So take a look at that door. That's a door to a closet in my office. Okay?
That's not an anaconda on the right side. That's not a skinny anaconda.
That is a belt that is standing there. And that belt was the belt that I wore when I was just under my heaviest.
Which was what?
So I have lost well over 350 pounds.
And I
still have probably a good 80 pounds to lose. And then
bro, you're still like 400 pounds.
The last close to 70 pounds after that is skin that's got to get removed in surgery.
That's gross.
But yeah, that's by God's grace, bro. That's been a lot of work, a lot of time and energy. But yeah, it's interesting. You know what's funny? You don't get as heavy as I did without some abuse, some neglect.
Oh yeah,
some really bad decision making.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just reality. I mean, and I had some health issues that contributed to that.
No, your health issues were a result of your weight, not the other way around, my man.
Respect to my hormones and all that stuff. But the reality of it is a lot of it was that. And look,
gluttony.
I have a lot to live for.
No,
I have the God that created me. I have my babies. I have my beautiful bride.
My bride. These people calling their children babies and calling their wives bride. What is up with that? It's insane. Here, we're getting towards the end of the show. And if you guys haven't done so already, please hit the like and the subscribe. It is the best way to help support this channel. I appreciate it. I got some really good clips of Charlie, one of Charlie and Candace. Oh my gosh, it did it again. Oh my gosh. Is it because I had these up here for so long? Hold on. Let me see if hold on one second. I don't want to have to refresh the screen. It makes it go black. Let me see what you guys have to say. Do you guys want me to hit the refresh? Or just end it? Let me just hit the refresh and then just don't go anywhere, please. I have other things I still want to show you guys. Please don't. All right. Hopefully that didn't take long. All right. Hopefully it's not black for a long time on you guys. Let's see if you guys are all still here. I'm going to have to edit those black parts out after the fact because that's not fun for anyone to sit through and watch. We got 300 and, well, we just lost like 15, 20 people. I said, I'm sorry, I've been in the studio since 11 preparing for the show. And so I had all these tabs up, and I'm guessing they'd been up for so long that when I went to then select them to play them, it said the internet browser had issues. So, all right, let's start here.
Cis? I think we're cis.
Are we cis?
We're cis. Cisgender.
Do we call each other like cis?
I don't think so.
Okay, well,
No,
I
but
can't learn.
I think cisgender
what's
is.
Zer?
What is Zer?
What is Zer?
Those are pronouns for low IQ people
Okay.
that are too afraid to
Like a
engage
zebra?
in reality.
I think
Z
it's-
and Zer and Zim and
Yeah, and
Zay.
Zimin. What is that?
pronouns that people put in their email signature. Whenever I see pronouns in an email signature, you know what it is? It says, I went to college, I have a lot of student debt, I'm miserable, and acknowledge how good of a person I am.
Oh,
See how Charlie looks right here? Okay, so he's got his gold signet ring on. And but if you see the thickness of his weight and his face and his hair, this is what Charlie looked like in the supposed Aspen video. That's why, like, I'm telling you, like, I watch Charlie all the time. I know him at different stages, and I don't know. I know Candace said it is for sure the Aspen retreat where they're pulling the video that they've done AI with. But I don't know. I just have it bothers me that it doesn't look how he looked in, what was it, August of 2025. That's not how he looked. I'm trying to pull it up. Wait, let me hit play and then I'll find it.
mine is like, you're not even getting hired, so just delete.
No, I mean, it is the ultimate deterrent not to work at Turning Point USA.
It was a left-leaning publication that wrote an article saying that people that put their pronouns on their resumes are not getting hired. And I went, gee, I wonder why.
You're going to be the first one to go to the
Yeah.
HR department, the first one to
Why don't you just write, I'm stupid on your resume?
Yes.
What is cis?
Cis?
All right, now let me play this one. Share this tab here. Let me back this up. All right, cool. It's on there.
Candace is.
Oh, it's loud. Hold on. The last one was really loud, so I had to turn up my soundboard.
She's on our team. She's the best, right? I mean, on our team, she's the best, right? I mean, I got a text message from some lunatic. Charlie, why do you have her still speaking at AmFest? I said, lose my number. Lose my number.
Wow.
I said, you obviously haven't been through the Tyler remembers, the Charlie Candace thing. I mean, from
Are they married? Remember?
Oh, it was like, by the way, it was this
that one got me.
very unsubstantiated internet rumor.
Yeah, that's not true, but
It's not true. Okay.
I'm remembering.
It's not true. Okay.
I'm remembering.
Candace is, she's on.
All right. Well, I can't find the other the Aspen video. It's so far back in my bookmarks, but hold on. I got some other videos of Charlie I want to show you guys. And let me pull it up though. Let's see. Where is it? I'm getting to it, I promise. Okay, there's that one. No. I'm almost to it. We played that one yesterday. All right, here we go. Oh, I got to hit share screen. Share screen. Let me back this up.
Now you say, where should your loyalty lie? Where I disagree with some pastors is where they say we must defend everything that the Israeli government does. You should not defend everything that the Israeli government does, period. You are loyal to one thing only. You are loyal to Jesus Christ. And that is it. That is your standard. Now you say, where should your loyalty?
All right, that was quicker than I thought it was going to be. Hold on. Whoa, where did all these windows pop up from? I think I have one more I want to show you guys. Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah, this one. Here we go. Yes, this one. Oh, no. Wait. Have you guys been staring at me the whole time or no? Did I just do that? Hopefully I just did that. All right. This is Charlie Kirk answering 22 or 21 questions. And it's a clip most people haven't seen. So it'll be good.
Who would you like to have dinner with, past or present?
Well, that's a very good question. So in the past, I would love to have dinner with Jesus Christ. I would love to pick his brain on a couple things.
Yes.
And I'm not even kidding. I think it would be actually amazing. And my belief actually says that I will see him again. So I see him actually for the first time. So that would be amazing. Julius Caesar is one of my favorite historical figures. Cicero, Marcus Aurelius. I love the Roman greats. I would love to have Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle all alive at the same time. I think that would be very fascinating. And American history.
I hope that the music playing doesn't hurt.
I'm fascinated by our founders. I think our founders have not had a good enough job done for them in Hollywood. I love Ben Franklin. He's a very, very compelling and interesting person, an inventor, a visionary, a writer, a diplomat. In many different ways, he was phenomenal. The other people in world history that, you know, I would love to be able to kind of pick the brains.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I didn't realize that. I think that's just, let's see now.
If you can't go too far back in time, obviously, because it's all theoretical. How about present? I'll answer some things in present who I'd love to have dinner with. Is that the present? Someone who just I really find to be compelling and interesting, just because of his perseverance and his vision, is Elon Musk. I think the guy is really interesting, even though we might not agree politically. He has real grit, which I really appreciate and that I really enjoy. Let me think who else.
Oh, hold on. Okay, you're saying, wait, what about the music? Sorry, I meant the music copyright. My bad. She was saying the music isn't loud enough to matter. Oh, okay. Okay, my bad. All right.
Currently. Oh, I'm sure there's all sorts of other people I could think of. But I would love to have another dinner with the President of the United States. You guys can learn about it here at themagadoctrine.com.
Well, you know, who knows? Elon Musk might see this and you might have your chance to have dinner with him.
Well, and then maybe we can discuss his car company.
And you can give him a copy of your book.
I would love to give Elon Musk a copy of the MAGA Doctrine. If you guys buy enough copies right now, you'll probably see it. In fact, you might have seen it.
So what is your favorite genre of music?
Well, that's a very good question. I like good music. I like the best music of every category. I like good jazz. I like good classical. And now I'm really going to lose. Should I say it? I'm not even going to say what I don't like. You guys can guess.
Hold on. This is a better one. This is his favorite memory.
You're doing a very good job, by the way. I think we're performing very well. Themagadoctrine.com. So.
What is your favorite childhood memory?
That's a very good question. My favorite memory is visiting all the national parks. It gave me great appreciation for our country. The Grand Canyon, Grand Teton, Yellowstone. I visited every single one except Yosemite. And my parents made a point to make sure I saw our national parks and the gift that we've been given by God and our natural beauty. If you have not done this, I highly recommend it. You can do the Grand Staircase Escalante, and you can do Bryce Canyon, which is unbelievable. Zion National Park, Grand Canyon. You can do that in the span of 5 to 7 days. I highly recommend it. Rocky Mountain National Park. You can do also Glacier National Park is.
Okay, let me see what this one is. Do you have an imaginary friend? What?
Do you ever have an imaginary friend?
Not really. That's, okay. I mean, no.
No, not as a kid. All right, hold on. What do you have a favorite? It doesn't say what it is, though. Oh, favorite workout. Let's know what his favorite workout is.
What is your go-to workout?
You know, that's a very sensitive subject.
Right.
Everyone's laughing. I was a workout maniac for a couple years, and I wish I still was. And I had a horrible back injury that I'm still recovering from. 2 slip discs in my back. I'm able to bike right now, which I enjoy. Praise God.
I didn't know he had 2 slip discs. I wonder how he got those slip discs.
I can walk around still. I used to run like.
That's interesting, you guys. Did you know that JFK had really bad lower back issues too? Did you guys know that? Because he was involved in a crash. I'm pretty sure it's because he was a Navy pilot in World War II. And it was like a hard crash in the water, I think. And he had major back issues, chronic pain, and he was like medicated a lot. JFK was. There's so many similarities between JFK and Charlie Kirk. Their life and their assassination and their death. Yeah, he had Addison's disease. Okay. But didn't he was involved in a crash and he was like floating in the water. And they had to rescue him, correct? I had 2 back surgeries. I had bulging discs where they had to do it's either called like a laminectomy or a disectomy. I've had 2 back surgeries from my L5 all the way down to my S1. Very bad, but much better shape now. That was from injuries I had when I was in the Marine Corps. But I didn't know Charlie had back issues.
15 miles a day. It was pathological. I loved it. For those of you that are addicted to running, please take care of your backs. You might think you're invincible. I was 25 years old and I couldn't walk for a week. It took me out of it. I mean this with no level of sarcasm at all. If you guys get injured with your back, it's one of the most not just painful, but demoralizing things you could possibly have. And at 25, it took me completely out of it.
Yes.
And it happened because I didn't stretch enough, to be honest with you. Now I look back at it. But my favorite workout would be, it's 98 degrees outside. You know, I'm going to go for a 15-mile run. And I know that sounds like horror to most people. Nothing I would rather do than go for a 15-mile run in the heat. And for those of you that have that, do that, you know exactly what I speak. There's nothing more fulfilling than that. I hope one day to run again, and I don't know if I will, but you know, that's in God's hands.
Run for office or run?
Well, no, I'm not running. No, physically run. If you again, as soon as what's the most depressing part of it? I don't play the victim. I don't mean it as a pity show. I don't want reparations or condolences. All I want you to do is to buy our book at themagadoctrine.com. That's all I want, and I'll sign a copy of it. However, what were we talking about?
Running.
Working out.
Oh yeah.
Running. But you know what else is a great?
He said run for office. Here's the thing, right? Like, this is not a scripted setting, right? Like, she's just asking, like, you know, what is your favorite this? What is your favorite that? People make the claim that Charlie Kirk was a character, that he was playing a role, that the public facing person that we knew as Charlie Kirk was not really him, and that none of us knew who the real Charlie Kirk was. And that's such a freaking load of crock. That's lies. This is Charlie. Like, I watched him so much. I'm surprised I didn't know this about his back. That's why this is my genuine, like, a live reaction to this. But Charlie wasn't playing a part. Charlie was just, this is him. This is Charlie. He's just an honest, good, innocent, humble, smart, intelligent, Christian, godly man, you know? And I just can't with people say that he, you know, was playing a part. He was a fake person. Nobody actually knew him. He was playing a role, you know? And then they go even further and say that, like, he faked his own assassination and death. And I just can't with people.
Workout?
What's that?
Signing books.
That's right. I'm burning more calories doing this than ever before.
You're doing a great job.
Where's the next one? Favorite super.
Opinionated about these questions, by the way, and I love them because I never get to talk about them. Okay. So I believe a superhero must be relatable. Okay. So Superman never resonated with me because he could do everything. He could literally turn back time. He had laser beam. He had ultimate.
Believe it or not, like, some of these questions tell you a lot about the psyche of Charlie Kirk. And like, when they ask you something about, like, if who's your favorite superhero, or if you could be a superhero, who would you be? It actually shows, it tells a lot about someone's worldview, how they view themselves, how they view the world, and their approach of, you know, serving man, like, you know, brothers and sisters, one another, humanity. So it's actually, there's a lot you can glean from these answers, believe it or not.
Strength. I said, this doesn't. But what is this? And the only way you could defeat him is kryptonite from another planet. Is like, the whole thing was too complicated. Okay. And you know what I didn't like about Superman? What? Is that he was a superhero that became less super. No, because he became a human being and he became like, what was it? Not Peter Parker. That was Spider-Man.
Clark Kent.
Clark Kent. He was a loser. He was disoriented. He was humble. I'll give him that. But he was a loser. Okay. And eventually he's like, what kind of superhero becomes less powerful when you go through I don't like it. My favorite is Batman by far.
Okay.
I love the story of Batman. I could talk about this endlessly. And let me tell you what, confronting your demons.
Yeah.
Absolute tragedy to triumph.
Yeah.
Understanding the thing that he fears the most is what he embodies, hero's journey. I absolutely love it.
Yes.
The stories are relatable, and Batman is conceivable. Everything in Batman, see, they're rolling their eyes. Superman's conceivable.
No.
You come in with laser beam vision, it's boring. How about Superman? You're skedaddling up buildings and you're putting people in webs. Never resonated with me. Green Goblin, okay. Batman is conceivable.
Yeah,
okay.
it is.
Elon Musk could create a Batman in 50 years. No, seriously. And that's what always resonated with me. I saw this and I said, this could happen. And by the way, it reminds me of Donald Trump. I'm going to get killed by Media Matters for this. But it's the benevolent billionaire. It is. It's the benevolent billionaire that comes to save the citizenry from the havoc of the left.
Oh, it's so sad that his faith in Donald Trump was misguided, just like all of ours. I mean, unless what we're seeing is true, and I don't know if this is an op yet or not, that like you saw JD Vance do the interviews, like they're turning on Philly, Trump's administration, JD Vance. I just haven't figured out yet, like if it's true, if it's real. Just like, I don't know, did you guys see all the stupidness on X somebody saying that Candace Owens is dead? Did you guys see that? It's like been all over X today. Somebody wrote a post supposedly that Candace Owens is dead and that Grok actually supposedly confirmed it. Like this. Let's see. This is it. I could play this real quick. Hold on. Let me pause this. Let me share this. Watch. Let's see.
Life on the internet is not nearly weird or psychotic or dramatic enough, so we needed this.
Right.
Last night, an influencer named Lily Gaddis put this post out on her X account that said, Candace Owens' family reached out to me earlier this morning. It is with deep sadness and sorrow that I am sharing the passing of my long-time friend and fellow political commentator, Candace. But I can't shake the feeling that this wasn't simply a random tragedy. There are circumstances surrounding Candace's death, especially after Charlie's passing, that raise serious questions, and I hope the full truth comes to light. I want to respect her family's privacy, so I will refrain from sharing any further details. Stay posted. So this girl's account put out this post basically saying that Candace Owens is dead. And it's a bizarre post for 1,000 reasons, because if it were real and they really were friends, that's a completely bizarre reaction to have if that had actually happened. But then her account deleted the post shortly after. And the follow-up is that the real girl, Lily Gaddis, got on social media and said, what the hell is going on? I didn't post this.
Oh, she got hacked.
It is entirely possible, and I would say probably probable and likely, that her account got hacked.
Yeah.
And somebody went in there and decided to cause some sort of drama or controversy by posting this post and starting a rumor that Candace Owens was not alive anymore.
I bet that was our government or Philly.
I think that's believable because this has happened to me before. My accounts have been hacked.
All right, so it has happened. All right, let's go here. This is JD Vance on Philly.
Now, I saw the Axios report, that Netanyahu is fuming. That's not reflective of the conversations that I've had with him, but maybe he's saying something to somebody else that he's not saying to me. What I will say, and this does bother me, is that you've seen people within Bibi's cabinet who have come out and attacked the deal and in some ways very personally attacked the president of the United States. And I guess my message to them would be twofold. Number one, Donald J. Trump is the only head of state in the entire world who is sympathetic to the nation of Israel at this moment in time. And he happens to be the head of state of the world's superpower. If I was in the cabinet of the Israeli government, I might not be attacking the only powerful ally that I have anywhere left in the entire world. And the second message I would give to some of those cabinet members, Bibi, to his credit, has not gone down this path, but to some of these cabinet members in Israel who are attacking the president of the United States, the other thing that I would say is that over the last 3 months, 2/3 of the defensive weapons that have protected your homeland have been built by American hands and paid for by American tax dollars. The problem for Israel is not Donald J. Trump. And anybody in Israel who thinks their biggest problem is the president of the United States needs to wake up and smell the reality of the situation that country is in. Thank you all.
Hopefully it's not too loud. I had to turn it up super loud on my soundboard so that you guys could hear it. So yeah, that's going on, right? And that's in the wake too of the supposed phone call that happened between Trump and BB, right? Where Trump supposedly like admonishes BB, which I guess is possible. And I don't know. It just, you question everything nowadays, and like out of nowhere, they've been so pro Philly this whole time, and now they're just so anti Philly, and it's or calling them out, at least, I guess. It's just interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know. The other thing that's interesting, I don't know if you guys saw the Carmelo Anthony, right? Is that his last name? Carmelo Anthony? The video from the high school came out, and it's on X, and you can actually see it's a grainy video from a distance, and it's kind of hard to see, but you can kind of make out some of it. So it's, yeah, it definitely shows that like Austin Metcalf didn't provoke anything, and what's his name just pushed him, and then he was unalived. It was super tragic. I'm trying to find another clip that I could show you guys. Oh, this is funny. This is a good one to end on. Hold on. Wait, I don't know. Is it gonna? Do you guys know? Before I hit play, like it shows Matthew, what's his name from Friends, would copyright ding me. It's not like a clip from the movie. Do you guys know? Like, would I get dinged from copyright because it's Matt, Joey, from Friends, but it's like in front of this, right? Do you guys know? I want to be able to play this. I just don't know if it'll make it. No, that's not it. How far behind are you guys in the chat? If the Trump is mad at BB, not if just visual. Who? Oh, all right. Well, let's see, because this is funny.
First, you lied, right? Then you lied about lying. Okay. Then you lied about lying about lying. Okay. So before you lie about lying about lying about lying about lying.
Yeah, that's how we feel about Erika Kirk, TPUSA, Andrew Colvett, Blake Neff. Let's all find out together. It's got to be longer than 20 seconds or something, I think. Surely not. I wouldn't even know. Okay, lying about lying about lying about lying. Yeah, that's Andrew. Oh, okay. Let's see. What were they saying? All right, let's see. Do you guys have any super chats you want to get in before the end of the show? I want to make sure I allow time for everyone to get that in. Plus, I love engaging with you guys. Let's see.
No, seriously, Gotham City was in total pandemonium because of bad management of the left. High crime, lack of leadership, run by gangs. I'm not kidding. I'm being very, very serious. And so I think Donald Trump and Batman have a lot in common. Bruce Wayne is one of the most beautiful characters because he's someone that uses his wealth and his prestige and his power. He had all the trappings of what it means to be part of the ruling class, and he went to go save people. I love that. Batman is my favorite superhero.
Awesome answer.
I'm going to go quicker because we're running out of time.
What is your favorite time of day?
My favorite time of day is the evening. I can do mornings, but I don't prefer them. I think the most clearly around 10 or 11 at night.
Have you ever ridden in a hot air balloon?
I hated it. I'm never doing it again. No one should ever do it.
No.
What is your favorite board game?
That's a very good question. I like chess because
Chess is great. Me too. Hot air balloons are a no-go for me. Yeah. I've seen so many bad things happen.
It makes, there's a decisive winner. It has a preference towards intellect and analysis. Monopoly is a waste of time. I grew up playing Monopoly, and at one time I realized this is like you're never going to win. No one ever wins Monopoly. You just won at the most furthest extent. The only way you win is if your opponent goes bankrupt. Silly game, not a fan, and unrealistic. And it gives you money just for passing go. What is this, UBI? You get money just for existing? I don't like it. Chess is a wonderful game. I wish I was better at chess, but I absolutely love it. It makes you think.
Interesting. So this is a question that was just asked to Erika Kirk, who was their favorite teacher. Let's see how Charlie Kirk answered it.
Have a favorite teacher?
Growing up, yes. I will not name this teacher because they'll probably get fired. But I had a teacher my junior year who was a liberal, but she took what she did so seriously and she dropped her political preference at the door. And she taught me more about American history than almost anyone. And she got me passionate about the founding of this country. I will not say her name because I don't want her to get doxxed. But she was a wonderful human being. And yes, a public sector teacher, a public sector union teacher, but it was evidence that good teachers should be paid more. She got in at 5 a.m. She left at 8 p.m. She was a hero. She deserves to earn a lot of money, and her colleagues that were all Marxists should be fired.
I had the same experience, and my teacher still hugs me to this day, even though she's a Democrat. That's amazing.
Very good.
Do you like movie popcorn with or without butter?
See, this is a very good question, because why would you indulge in the calories of that butter? I don't understand it.
Mystic, how funny. I bet it was one of those people. You know what I mean? It's the same exact BS critique as always. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. What up, Brian? Matt, dig up more old videos of Charlie, please, and maybe do a show with them so we can be reminded of all he stood for. They reveal more now than ever. Yeah. Okay, cool. You guys, would everyone like that? Like a full-on show where we're just like hanging out in the chat and just watching videos of Charlie? I can put together like an amazing montage of like best of Charlie Kirk. And we could just do like a full episode of that. I don't know that it could be 3 hours or 2 hours, but I mean, probably 2 hours, because then we could talk about it and stuff too, you know, and I bet we'll find things that like we can compare it to like Erika Kirk, but I guarantee you he's going to end up being so much more like Candace. What do you bet? Like we're going to watch video clips of him. We're going to see so much of like him and Candace are so much more like than him and Erika. You know what I mean? All right, cool. Everyone likes that idea. It will be 10 hours long. Okay. Right on, Brian. Heck yes, for that super chat. Elizabeth says 100%, target. Love it. What do we got? Julie Cooksey. I live in Napa Valley. I'll only enjoy hot air balloons from the ground. Thanks for being here. Peace. Polls occasionally are fun too. Okay, I'm down. The only thing with polls is I have to stop doing what I'm doing to do them. So like I can do like a lot of this stuff that's recommended at the end. I could do it in the beginning too, or in the middle too. It's just I'll have to stop playing videos while I do it. Like we could do a poll right now. What would you guys like a poll on? I'd also have to have an idea of a poll. What's an idea of a poll? We have about 290 people here. We could get, that's a good sample size. Give me an idea about a poll. Erika is so jealous of Candace. Okay, let's see it. Let me do a poll. Let's put up. No, that's not how I spelt it. Hold on. What the heck? Why is it not? Oh my goodness. Hold on a second. Let me fix it. All right. All right. Boom. Poll is in. Is Erika jealous of Candace? I say yes. I think so. All right, now while we're doing that poll, let me hit play.
If you're going to begin to eat it's like saying, well, I'm gonna eat a bunch of calories and it's not gonna taste good. You have to not just have butter, it has to be soaked. It has to be absolutely avalanched in butter.
Yeah.
And so these people that don't want to replace it, okay, so you're gonna have 800 calories to enjoy, hopefully Batman, Star Wars, I could do a whole thing on, and you're not gonna have butter on it, doesn't make sense to me.
Not Stranger Things. Who is your favorite author?
Donald Trump Jr. No question. Because he's a friend of mine. I don't say that facetiously. You guys should check out his book, Triggered. But my favorite author, Marcus Aurelius, Meditations, one of the most important books that built Western civilization. Our book is selling better than Meditations today. I never thought I would say that.
And finally, who has impacted you the most?
Probably my parents, and I think that's the correct answer for anyone. The Bible commands you to honor your mother and father, and they had a very big impact on my life.
Yeah.
And I think that summarizes our signing today.
All right, let me pull up. I didn't know this. Hold on. I don't remember this happening, but let's go here. Hold on. Pause. Back up. Oh, no. All right, let's go here.
Welcome to the Charlie Kirk Show. I am Andrew Colvett, executive producer of this show. I am joined by some very dear friends of Charlie. And of course, they need no introduction. That would be in no particular order from my right to left: Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles, and Ben Shapiro. In the moments that passed right after we got the news, I was in a state of shock. And one of the things that gave me some solace and gave me some comfort in those first few hours afterwards was I actually happened to see a tweet from Matt Walsh. And I could feel the visceral anger that was pouring out of his body onto the post on X. And it's hard to explain why that gave me so much comfort, but I knew that there was an army rising up with righteous anger at what had just happened to my friend and to the host of this show.
Barf.
And within minutes of that, I got a call.
Andrew is a Zionist. Andrew is lockstep with the Adelsons, right? He's the one that went back and told Miriam what Trump said. Only him and Charlie and Trump were together when that occurred, or it was that Charlie told him, but Andrew knew, and Andrew has connections back to Adelson, and Adelson found out. Having this scumbag, Ben freaking Eyebrows Shapiro, should never have been in this office. Charlie didn't even want to do the last show with Ben, but guess who set it up? Scumbag Colvett. Scumbag Colvett did it and made Charlie do the podcast with this scumbag for the day before he was assassinated. Scumbags.
From the CEO of Daily Wire, just asking if there was anything he could do, and I said yes. Send the team.
Send money, and send some pro-Philadelphian shills on my way.
I'm going to want them to guest host this show.
Oh, yeah.
And so I asked, and they graciously granted the request. And here they are.
We're willing to provide, and we are providing
money,
any level of material support, any level of support on the ground, boots on the ground, helping you to do.
Yeah, because the Daily Wire is failing, and it was failing then, and it's failing more now because everyone can see through you scumbag Shapiro, dude. And you didn't mind spending millions of dollars to buy your way onto the AmFest stage when you know darn well Charlie wanted nothing to do with you at the end. You and Josh Hammer are both evil doers. You are snakes in the grass. You deserve to be just tossed out. Just be gone. I rebuke you, Satan. in Jesus Christ's name, because you can't even say the name Jesus Christ. You're not even allowed to. You think that we're blasphemous idolaters.
What Charlie would have wanted to be done here. You know, we couldn't be, frankly, more honored to join you guys.
Oh, I bet.
As much as we
yeah, any chance to make some money, to get more power, more influence, more sway, more, you know, you want to be relevant. You want people to be saying your name.
Can in the fight.
Thank you for that, and thank you for donating the
Million?
Daily Wire $1 million.
$1 million.
Breaking news on this show.
$1 million. What do you know? $1 million. What do you know? Let me pull this up. Hold on. Hopefully there's no music. I can't have it have music. Hold on.
You know, I think my story can resonate with a lot of you because I get called a lot of things, as you can imagine. The one thing I wish I would be called more, which is actually true, is an entrepreneur. I build things. I build organizations. We help.
Oh, this looks like a commercial, actually. What is BM? I don't know. I think I'll get docked for that. Dang it. I hate it when that happens. Hopefully not. Hopefully I don't get it'll make it to where the video doesn't go out afterwards until I edit it out, and it's such a pain. But all right, we've made it to the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. So there's 2 videos that I didn't get to today because they're long. My timestamps are significant. It is Erika Kirk, The Summer of Psalms in 2021 and in 2025. We had started it yesterday. I went back and got the correct timestamps. I did a lot of work today. And that would have been way too much to cover, right? I got to get off. I got to eat and go to the baseball game with the family. And we've already been here 3 hours. So that'll be tomorrow or the next day. It depends on when the Candace, Owens, Sean Ryan episode drops on Patreon. I'm a member, paying member. We're going to watch it together before anyone else gets to watch it. And it's going to be good. So you're going to want to look out for that thumbnail and the link for that video in the next few days. And this one of Erika saying just some insane things on both of these Summer of Psalms women's retreats. The parts that we didn't get to. I know we had started them, but we didn't finish it. I went through and I got them. All right. So please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It's how you can help support the channel, and it's free. The other way you can do it is once the video posts, you can go over and just write a comment. Just please say like, hey, great job, good video, keep it up, good work, love it, love the community, whatever you want to say, just say something. If you can, please. Thank you. Also, you can hype the video. It's free. It's at the bottom. It's where like you write the comment, you just swipe and it's hype, and you hype it, and it's free, and it helps the video. You can also donate or give support here to the Blackline Brief Venmo account. Scan the QR code. You can donate that way, or you can do it here at buymeacoffee.com/the Blackline Brief. Just scan this QR code as well. Just when you do so, just write in the note or a memo what you would like the donation to go to. Okay. And we make sure that it does. All right. Let's see. All right. I'm all caught up on the super chats and everything. All right. God bless you guys. Have a great night. Love you guys. Thank you for all your love and support. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.